Damn, y'all. I'm fucking late. I am late. Anybody here? I didn't realize what time it was. Hey, y'all. I'm here. Just running a little late. I was just running late, yo. Ain't nobody in here. Ain't nobody in here. Where everybody at? Yeah, I'm live. Yeah, I'm live. I'm just running late, man. I'm just running late. I seriously didn't realize what time it was. Who in? Chime in. Let me drop the link. I seriously, I was in the house just kind of like farting around, just sitting, just doing nothing. You gotta do that sometimes. You gotta just like sit in the house and don't do shit sometimes. Yeah, let me drop the link. Anybody can come in. Let me get comfortable. I was in the basement chilling, man. Yeah, I was in the basement chilling. Yeah, I wasn't doing. Yeah, Erica, how you doing? I was in the basement chilling, man. I lost track of time. That's when I was just relaxing too damn hard. Gina, what's up? I dropped that link. But yeah, I was in the basement. I didn't realize. Cassian said, "Armel, you late." And I'm like, "Oh shit!" I didn't realize what time it was. I swear, I was like, "Oh okay." I was out trying to get ready for the New Year's. We're going out of town. We're going to New York one day. I don't know what day it is. We're going to New York for the holiday, but I don't know what day we're going. So I was trying to do things in the house, like get the car washed before the New Year, so it won't be so heavy. Before it, I went out like 1 o'clock, and I came in probably about 5. Jovi, what up? I came in about 5. Erica, Gina, how you doing? I dropped the link, man. But yeah, I wanted to I'm late. I ain't get time set up. I thought it was like an hour earlier. I thought it was like 7 o'clock, I swear. I was like, oh, okay. Yo, my timing is crazy off. Yeah, how you doing? Let me drop you in. Yeah, how you doing? And I was sorry. I was crazy late. When I seen your text, I was like, I gotta go on. This is crazy. I was
It's
like,
all good.
the heck? Yo, I was like in super duper chill mode. I was in the basement. I was on the phone. I was on the phone and just looking at my dad going other stuff and looking at Africa and all kinds of other crazy. I was in my chill mode. I thought it was 7 o'clock. I'm an hour behind.
Listen, I was like, maybe I was thinking 8 o'clock my time. So I was like, maybe I'm on the wrong.
Yeah. Oh, is it the time difference there where you are in Ohio, right?
Yeah, I'm
Uh-huh.
in Ohio. Where you at?
I'm in the lovely state of Virginia.
Nah, I think we the same.
Virginia for lovers. I'm in the good state of Virginia. Cass around here somewhere because she was in front of. She's like, "Should I go on?" And I was like, "Huh?" I was like, "What are you talking about? You got time?" I'm looking because she was on the computer already, but I was in the basement in my own world.
Well, what threw me off is I didn't see a thumbnail, and I was like, okay, maybe
Yeah,
he changed his
I
mind.
wasn't ready yet. I was sitting there getting pictures and figuring out how to transfer it to the desktop. I was about to airdrop it, and it was just. I was in the middle of starting. I was in the middle of getting ready,
It's
but
all
I
right.
I was an hour behind. Here go Cass right here. She downstairs because baby girl don't want to come
Hey
upstairs.
there.
Hey, how are you?
Zadie don't want to come upstairs.
I
So
may need to go mute because this one.
what you hear? Echo? Huh?
Hey. Yeah, so I'm kind of just keeping her.
You got to turn off the. Do you got YouTube open on the thing?
Yeah. Oh,
Turn that off. Close out YouTube and just leave that open.
okay. Goodness.
Yeah, I don't know. Cass was on it. She reminded me. I was like, huh? And then I looked at the time. I was like, oh shit! I didn't even have the chance to put the thumbnail up. I was like, oh my god. But yeah,
You're
man.
in the world or no?
Yeah, I was in my own little world, and that's
Yep.
DC Money. That's DC Money Mike fault.
Yeah, that
That's,
was. You guys were having fun chatting earlier today.
yeah, that's DC Money Mike fault. Got me researching some shit. Yeah, but
All right, Arma, what's the topic today?
you don't know what the topic is, Cass? The topic is
Now I want to hear you say.
right. This is what happened, right?
Mm.
I was talking to Cass, right? And Cass had this. It has this thing always about education. She's like education. We talk about Jamaica a lot because we have a lot of cultural differences in our household.
Mhm.
So, and Cass talking about Jamaica a lot. So, in Cass' world, the way she expresses it, education is the gateway to changing the economic situation.
Mhm.
And I was like, does it really change the economic situation? Because I always look at education as the way to get you prepared to go work in the machine to the workforce.
No, but
Yes, you-
in Jamaica, education is a way out of poverty because usually once you're educated, you can find good job. You can start doing things for your family. So yes, here
So,
it is.
So the
Yeah,
conversation,
we push that very much for kids to try finish school and yeah.
and the conversation switched, and Cassius brought up it's more likely in Jamaica when she was talking for the girls to get educated or to go to school while the boys go out to work.
That's not what I said.
Something like
No.
that. You said.
No, what I said was, it came down to a woman's role and societal expectations of her and stuff. And what I said to you was, in Jamaica, that wasn't something that was mentioned or taught, where you being a woman wasn't seen as a hindrance. Jamaica is very matriarchal. I grew up with my mom owning businesses, doing things. Being a woman was never yeah, it was never an hindrance. It was just, and the fact is, Jamaica, if you look it up, I don't remember the number. Last month I was like 56%, but Jamaica have a high percentage of women in executive positions or very high positions. I think it's 56%, one of the highest in the world. So a woman was never of like say here, well, you're kept down, whatever is happening here. That's not something I experienced as a woman. It was very common to see a woman playing a very dominant role in society or doing her thing. That was just not an issue. That's not something you talk about.
No, they didn't have.
I can't do this, or I'm a woman, I can't do that. In fact, it's actually quite opposite. I was taught that you're a woman, you make shit happen.
You're supposed to have.
Yeah,
so
that's how I was taught. It was never where you need to go work, be with a man, and have this and depend on a man. That was never discussed. It was just never an issue or discussion. It was always, you're a woman, you're a person, you go get your shit. And if you find a man and you're in him together, you have more power to you. But it was never an issue, a question.
So that was a cultural demographic. So the cultural demographic was what the expectation was of a woman in Jamaica, which is more of a matriarchal society versus here in America. So
well, there's a hierarchy. And basically with the women, it was, I think in America, and this is not on any race of men, because really it started out being more of white men, but there is a threat to anyone who could be just as good or better than them. So they don't look at everyone as equal. And then it goes down from that and down from that. So it goes from the white man, white woman, black man, black woman, to where it's always someone looked at as being less than instead of
that is something I experienced in corporate America.
I think I see your order of the hierarchy thing, right? But also, I was reading this book. It's called the Willie Lynch Letters. I don't know if anyone of you ever heard of it. It's on the floor in here, Cass. If you want to pick it up. In this book, the Willie Lynch Letters, it was the making of a slave, right? Mm-hmm. So this hierarchy was kind of like, in order to get shit done, it was the slave master, right? After the slave master, it wasn't his wife. His wife was just kind of like the side shit. The next line of order was the black woman. Once you control the woman of the worker, you can produce more work. Mm-hmm. So, and I think even though after the emancipation, they kind of freed slaves, but once they got control of this black woman, he can produce more work out of the man. Later on in society, I think they figured out that the black woman and the black man can work now. So, or white woman, white man, both man and woman can both work. But it's like, okay, we put them both to work and put the kids in school and let the schools take care of that and make an after school program till they get away from work. And then they just kind of like, just all in production. My whole thing is corporate America don't really give a fuck about your family. And that's the way I'm trying to go about with this live in a direction. I ain't trying to make it like no man and woman, but it seemed like corporate America. And I've been ranting about this all week with Cass, and Cass can tell you. But the corporate America doesn't care if your child is in school or if you taking care of or you spending time with, if your child is sick. They really don't even fucking care. And then I know somebody has to sacrifice to feed the child. I can't. Let me shoot this. I know that somebody has to sacrifice in order to feed the child or whatever, or to feed the family, right? But historically, that has been the role of the man.
Hello, Jason. Shana.
Historically, that has been a role of the man.
It was historically, because I don't think that they wanted the competition of their women being able to do things. So let's go back to before it was the black men and women that were giving the competition. They didn't want their white women to be as smart as them unless you were quietly as smart as them. Like, you're the wife, you're doing this.
That's what I thought the wife was, though.
Huh?
That's what I thought the wife was. The silent.
That's what I think that's
the whisper in the ear
to happen. But what it is women are like, no, we sick of being in the background, being the ones with the brain, when we can do the thing ourselves. Why not? We enjoy working too. It's not about being better than anybody. It's just some people really enjoy what they do. May it be in corporate or may it be working for themselves. They enjoy the work that they do. They enjoy what it brings to the world, like how it impacts everything.
Okay, so the replacement, right? Cass brought up something during our conversation, so we're going to talk about now the dynamics of the replacement. Cass brought up that, in Jamaica, and she's hell bent. I'm not depending on no man. Leave me the fuck alone.
That's you know how my mother is, very, very, very independent minded.
They on that fucking nigga shit.
She's a mover and shaker. She create businesses, don't rely on nobody. So she pulled herself out of real poverty and built businesses. So I was her making moves. So yeah.
At the same time, right? At the same time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Cass, you have this experience, right? Now, this is the trail, the point. So you're going to start and you're getting your education like you did. Now you get your education, you do your primary school, your secondary school, you go to the university. You go to university, you go to grad school. What's the purpose of all that shit? To get a job, to get a status, to boss up. What's the purpose of it?
It's because that's what these states require in order for you to get the things that you want. It really, honestly, I've always felt like school is just it's a money machine. It's unnecessary. You take half of the classes you take in college. You don't need to do the job that
But
you're
remember,
looking
I
at.
need every class. I don't go. I needed every class.
I didn't.
I do.
I didn't need to take art. I didn't need to take the study of art or anything. Why? I just threw that in there because I
I
needed
think art to give me culture so I can have something to talk about. And I can have a
I
little
didn't
job.
need it. Don't mean that somebody else might not be interested, but I didn't need it.
Yeah, I didn't need it either. I didn't need it either, but it gave me a little bit of style and a little bit of culture. You know what I mean? But
Hey,
go ahead.
each their own. But I feel like a lot
What
of it
you
is just
learned, Cassie, with all them degrees you got downstairs?
okay, here's a little side note. Arma could tell you with the degrees I have, all the certificates I have, not one of them is up on the wall. The other day,
They
he
in the
had to
cabinet.
tell me that I actually graduated. What was it again?
Magna cum laude.
I didn't freaking know, and it's been 10 years. So that doesn't matter to me. It was just me doing a milestone personally. I never believed that education meant
She
anything
went for a
in
piece
terms
of
of
paper.
status. Because I've met people with supposed degrees who are dumb as fuck. And I've met people
a lot.
who have never, like my father finished school at 12, but he was very well learned. He read a lot. I mean, very, very smart man, right? And I've met people through years who didn't have formal education and incredibly smart and have a great perspective on things. So I've never been someone who think that your degree meant that you're smart. You know what I mean? I just don't think so. So I mean, I honestly don't know where my degrees are. I have.
The
Other day I
problem
have to
is,
remember I got something
with
at
it, Cassie, and I'm gonna
19.
interrupt you.
I
The
got
problem I
psychology
have
at
with it
19.
is,
I was
we're
19.
paying for these daggone degrees, right?
Yeah, but you mentioned it,
You
Sam.
get the
But my point
certification.
is,
Hold up, yes. Hold up.
okay.
You paying for these degrees, right? To get certifications or to get credentials for a job for corporation. Then you go into this job, right? And you know this, right, Cass? You go into corporate America. You got kids at home. You not only just an educated woman. You are a mother. You are a wife. You are all of this, right? Then you go into corporate America, right? And you produce for them.
Yeah.
Hundreds of millions of dollars. And I know you. Hundreds of millions of dollars, right? Does that add anything to your family?
No.
How has your life changed?
I mean, you know, well, Arma know that I made decision to step away from that, and people are like, "Why would you?" When it looked really great that I was traveling and all that crazy shit. But the fact is, I remember there are many times where I wanted to put my family first, and I got a talking to about it. For instance, I was traveling where I was leaving Monday, coming back Fridays, constantly on planes all over the freaking country. And I remember I traveled extensively for like 3 weeks straight, decided to take a 2 week break to not go anywhere, but still conduct business, still do your thing. And my boss was like, "Why aren't you traveling?" I'm like, "I just did 3 weeks, decided to take a 2 week. And you know the situation with Zadie, with my daughter Zadie and her
Nobody
being
don't know. Nobody knows.
and it didn't matter. He was like, "Well, you have to get on a plane. You need to go somewhere. And you have to go manage all these territories." I mean, literally, I was doing the job of 4 freaking managers, right? So it was like, it didn't matter that I had all this stuff going on. Yeah, they claim, yeah, we care. Yeah, we understand. But
Work-life balance and all this bullshit.
it was like, no, you need to. And I was like, hold on. I actually agreed to 25% travel. I was doing 90% travel, literally 90%. And he was like, well, that's what the job has transitioned into. That's what it is. And he was like, shrug shoulder, I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, a little travel is fine, but to be gone Monday and coming back Friday. And I mean, I always say one of the things that happened was that halfway I was so bad. We're halfway through the month. I've been on 10 planes already, like 10
Mhm.
planes, traveling all over the place, transitioning. And at one point, I was wandering around the airport and I didn't remember which airport I was in. I didn't remember which state I was in. And I was like, because I was so exhausted from traveling. It was just, I think I flew into to Cleveland, drove to Connecticut. I was flying out of Connecticut and I was literally wandering around the airport, not remembering where I was. And because
Mhm.
I was so exhausted and tired. And my numbers were great, but it didn't matter because I was a black woman with dreadlocks and some racism was going on, but it didn't
Mhm.
matter because they had these crazy expectations. And the more you do is the more they say do more, do more, do more.
Yep.
So my wants, my family wants and needs didn't matter. I was making millions for them, but so what? Make more and make more. They kept
More.
on shifting the goalposts. They make the goal, you make it great. Then they shift it again. Oh, you did it. Oh, then so I was like, what the
So
frick?
you was basically married to
Life is
your
all
job.
about making profits
Let
for
me ask you
them.
a question, guys. So you was basically married to your job, right?
I was constantly stressed out in the middle of the night working and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I didn't the time quality of time I wanted to give Zadie just wasn't happening.
Well,
I feel like,
no, but yeah, but anyway.
but anyway,
I don't do anything different than if I was not working. So I when I leave work, work is over. Now don't get me wrong. Because of the position I hold in my company, I get emails that come to my phone, but I don't deal with them. I don't have to deal with any of them. But sometimes if it's something that I want to deal with right then, I will. But most times I don't deal with none of that stuff till I get back on the clock the next week. It has to be dire emergency. But when I get home from work, the first thing I do when I walk in the door, and I've been doing this since even before I got married, when I was single, I walk in the house, I put down my things, I wash my hands, and I cook dinner because I grew up in a house where we ate dinner at a decent hour. So I don't understand, when people be like, it's 8 o'clock. Oh, I need to fix dinner. Oh, no, honey, my dinner's been fixed since I
Isn't that a
walked in
little
the
much,
room.
though? Isn't that
And
a
I
little bit
still
too much for
work
you?
like that.
Isn't that a little bit too much? Like go to work and then you got to come and do work at home to get your husband straight. I don't know your situation as far as your kids straight. You gotta. That's fucking more shit.
But I did that before when I was single. So why is it that, I mean, I gotta eat. You gotta eat. You gotta take care of your home. That's just part of
That's
life.
another thing that I'm gonna get into that later. It's like, how much more are you eating?
No, not more.
well, if
The
you have
same I
kids,
would
you're
be
gonna
eating
have
if I
to
was at
cook
This is
more,
home.
the
man.
conversation I was having with my main man. I don't know if he in here yet. One of the regulars on the channel. He comes on the panel a lot, smashing that bass. My dude, right? So we over the past couple of days we've been discussing the topic a lot. So smashing that bass is like, what I mean, him and his wife they both grind and working, but there was a time when that wasn't even the case, or when we talked about when we were growing up. I was growing up,
Okay, Janari.
I didn't go without, but I didn't have let me stop front. I had some things, but I didn't have everything I wanted. So the thing when I wanted it. So I'm looking at my life now, far removed from that particular type of environment. I'm asking myself, what's different? And I
I don't
seriously
know if
can't
I
think of what's
understand.
different.
I don't know if I understand what you mean.
Okay, let me see.
What are you trying to say?
I've been talking to Cass about this, and she's got the same look on her face the whole time.
Because sometimes you'll be going around and around and around.
No, but for real,
Okay,
for real.
I think, okay.
Price that you take to go to work to get the bag, right? To
You're
change
trying to say the sacrifice is not worth it
is that
because in the end you
situation.
still
In
have.
that situation, what is the if this causing you doing this for a reason, right? Did you get that effect? Did you get that reason? Did you get it? And if you got it, was it worth it?
So you're saying that after putting all that thing in at work and then you come home, are you saying that because you're okay. I'm trying to understand where you're coming from, Armel.
I don't think there's no difference between being rich and being poor when it comes to your family.
What you can, okay.
Really
So
worth
in
it.
terms of what you can provide, though, Armel,
Is
what
it
you can
really
provide, it
worth
matters.
it? Is it worth it? Is it worth what you
Are
gave?
you saying worth it in terms of you being absent from your home while you, because you're not as available to your family if you're busy chasing the bread? And are you saying that
Then
absence,
they grown, they hate you.
chasing that bread where you're more absent in their lives, so does it really make that much if it's really that important to do that? Is that what you're trying to say?
Exactly.
Like you're giving your all to corporate America, but in the end you're taking away from your family because you're giving your all to corporate America. Is that what you're trying to say?
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay. And you're saying that being poor was in terms of what you had as a child, in terms of being fed and taken care of,
And
versus
happy.
what you were, versus when you're in a better situation, that you were still fed, but you feel, but your absence of things, I guess when you have a child, when you're busy and stuff, it's that it impacts it more when the parents isn't there. Is that what you're trying to say?
Something like that. It's exactly what I'm trying to say. And more.
Yeah.
Because it's
Well,
like
Top Productions has a point though, Armel. It says that one income cannot support a household anymore, and that is fact.
what are you trying to put? What are you trying to put in the fucking household? It
Food.
depends. What are you trying to put? Excuse me. What are you trying to put in the household?
Food.
You just got to spread it better.
You know,
You said you're not managing enough to spread it.
I'm not. That's bullshit. You know, basically, I go shopping for Zadia, I buy the same things as I do every week, and every week I come home with less because things just
What week
cost
did anybody
more.
starve?
Huh?
What week did anybody starve?
See, that's where we're at odds now. Because you're saying that nobody would.
When I was growing, she doesn't have this experience. When I was growing up, and my parents didn't make nowhere near as much income as us, and we were considered in the poverty, or however the fuck it was. But I can't remember missing a meal.
Well, lucky you, but you had but luckily for you, Arma, you had your mom had a huge support system. Don't forget that. You have a bunch of aunties and cousins and all that stuff, and that matters. So if she couldn't feed you, all she had to do was just reach out to her sister or cousins or whatever, and you get fed. Some people.
It's not even that. I don't even gotta go to my family. I can go to Dutch house.
But that's my point. You have that. Some people don't have that support system.
Who don't?
Right?
Who don't?
Some people don't have, because you have 50 million cousins. You think everybody got 50 million cousins and brothers and sisters and shit.
It's hard to understand because I grew up the same way. I have a lot of cousins and family. We grew up in the same neighborhoods, pretty much like walking distance to everybody. But when I got in high school and I had friends and I would see like the dynamics in their family, everybody don't have big, close families, so when they get out on their own, they may have friends, they may have one or two relatives they still communicate with, or they may have none. And so all of it falls on them. There are people like that, which it's odd, but it happens.
I don't know how this works.
I think I added Erica.
Erica in.
But I'll tell you, okay, Jim. Okay, I know culturally. Again, I'm gonna do a cultural difference. I don't know where. I don't know where she had. Person option or not?
I'm seeing it. I don't see how this shit works.
But okay. But here's the thing. Again, we're gonna do a cultural thing here, and I don't know if it was like that because growing up for me, and even culturally. Because like I said, I lived in the ghetto and my family had a lot. I lived in the ghetto, right? And I was like a ghetto princess kind of shit. So we always had plenty of food because my mother had food stores, right? And honestly, every day we cook big pots, and we always had people who just randomly show up and they get fed, right? So culturally in Jamaica, you show up at someone's house, whatever food is dinner, you figure out to share it out and you make it shared, everybody can eat, right? Regardless of if their relatives are not near, but whatever, somebody could randomly show up to your house and consider to be courteous to share whatever meal you have. All right. So again, in terms of, but I don't know if that, besides your large family situation in America, though, that may not be available for everybody, where it doesn't matter. You could just randomly show up at somebody's house and be fed. Some people don't have those resources, don't have that connection. They just don't have it, Armel.
But this is what I'm saying. I can't tell the difference. I can't tell the difference. There's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars later. I can't tell the difference.
And your lifestyle?
No.
Well,
I can't tell the difference. I really can't. I'm seriously. Cassie can't tell the difference. Because I told Cassie about her old white truck, right? And then,
I love that white truck. People used to stay far from it because it had no
the old white truck compared to later on in life.
I got stopped by the cops. There are people like, you don't have no brake lights, really? But I do. People stay away from me on the highway because I be driving fast and crazy, and they'll be like, "There's no brakes."
So I'm saying, Cass, with the old white truck, and then where you at now, how you won't go back?
Well, I mean, you kind of convinced me to do a more luxurious car, and that was nice because I was fine with my little old truck. I mean, that didn't matter to me because it was fully paid for. Insurance was the only thing I paid for is insurance. So I will say that you convinced me to buy a newer car, and that's nice to have a newer car, especially if you're driving as a woman, you don't want anything to break down. In New York, it didn't matter because all my family members are there. So the car wouldn't start a couple of times. Just call my uncle and he pops up. But if you're living somewhere where you're in the middle of nowhere, like we live, having a good car matters. So
I convinced her to get a new car. This new car was a Hyundai. And it was her first new car, right? Her first newer version of car, right? Now, push that to years later. Would you do a Hyundai again?
I kind of like the Benz.
When she upgraded the car, so when she get into these German cars, you can't kind of like go back, and that's the fun.
That Hyundai was cute though. That was cute. So
listen,
but go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say I could tell the difference from me in my 20s to me now when it comes to cars. In my 20s, I had to get used cars. In my 40s, I choose to get used cars. I'm not buying a new car. Why? Why for?
I'm not buying a car.
Certified. Now, I'm not going to act like I just buy a beater. I buy certified used cars. But why? I don't need all that. I'm trying to get where I got to get to. I'm not trying to be, I don't care what nobody sees and be like, oh, girl, look at, no.
What's so funny? I remember when I got my You remember when I got the Benz and you posted on social media and I was pissed?
Yeah, I'm trying to get somebody else on.
Because even I didn't like it. I'm like, don't show
people. It's a shame to have a nice car.
There's no shame. I just say I choose not to because
that's actually some business sense.
And many things. I put one child through private school. That was an option I wouldn't have been able to do if I didn't work. I was able to make that option because our public schools they're failing. They're horrible.
Was I said Erica dropped off. Was she?
I can't put her on. I can't figure this shit out. I don't got no.
It shows she was on, but I don't know where's the 4-person option to add the multiple screen shit. I don't know where
it should allow up to 6 people.
I know,
but it doesn't.
You're supposed to click the one that moves with show people, and I don't know why there wasn't the one.
I'm messing with it.
So when you hover over her in the basement, it doesn't say add to stream like it did when you.
She was added to the stream. We just couldn't see her.
Oh.
I could always pop off and go in the room with Armel.
Yeah, come on.
Went upstairs to her bed. So she went upstairs to her bed, so she might be
okay. So you could come up. Come off.
I was planning to come upstairs and check on her anyway because she'd be up to.
Okay, remove. I got the door closed because you talk loud.
Hey, Sophia. Don't do her.
So anyway, what I'm saying is, right? Cass sit there, right? And I say, there's going to be a difference. My whole point was, if you don't try these damn things, if you don't try these things, if you don't see these things, and social media is constantly feeding us, you don't even know you want this shit. Mm-hmm. So what the hell are we working for? That's my whole thing. If Mike Tyson would have never, if Mike Tyson would have never won that world championship, I would have never known what some of the nicer things in life was. I'm blaming this shit on Mike Tyson, but for real, I'm blaming this shit on Mike Tyson because the hood ain't everybody was riding like old school cars. Nobody ain't never seen no old school. Yeah, nobody never seen no damn Range Rovers and these Bentleys and these Europeans and these Mercedes. Mike Tyson brought that shit in front of us. So it's like, damn, when I get up, I'm going to want that. So, and everybody I've met, let me move over. Everybody I've met, I try to expose them to that. Cass is a little bit different. Come over. Cass always had stuff, but she always was like, nah, that's like, she wasn't into material things. I said, you're not into material things because of the way people front. Same. But at the same time, once you try that shit, but you hooked. No, but Armel, that's what happens. Armel. But at the end of the day, the only thing that should do is take you from point A to point B. Yeah, the same thing the white truck did. Yeah, but Armel, okay, that is true in terms of I'm saying, what are we working for? My exposure to Mercedes-Benz, okay, fine, it's nice to have a nicer car, but no matter how much, look at the camera when you're talking, not to me. But no matter how much I would never go out and go buy some $500,000 car until you drove it. Car. No, Armel, because you haven't drove it. You can't fathom it. No, until you have. I know how I am, Armel. You know how you are. No, everybody knows how they are until they get punched in the face. And when they try to do things or they get actually enjoy that experience, I don't agree. I've been in some cars where I'm like, no, really like it. And I went and looked it up to see like what it costs and all that. And I'd be like, you got me messed up. I will not. It's a freaking car. Like, I just can't. But I mean, yeah, do I see them and be like, oh, that is nice. But I'm not about to put my money into it. It ain't worth it to me. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't even, this is seriously, and this is just Armel philosophy. I wouldn't even buy a car no more. The reason why I wouldn't buy a car, like just a standard sedan or a compact or something, because if it only does that one thing, drive you from point A to point B, I don't want it. What if the economy crashed, or what if I don't have a job, or these motherfuckers don't pay me or something? What is that car going to do? Nowadays, it probably can deliver some Uber Eats or some Uber food, but I believe, me personally, whatever vehicle I drive, that bitch better be able to do something more than drive. It better make some money in a whole bunch of different ways. So how you gonna get around? Huh? One second. I had to buy a truck or a van or something. No. You just mean cars. It's like trucks or vans. I don't think cars have a problem. What's up? Okay, so Erica is here, but I'm still trying to show her. Switch it to that one. I did switch it to this one. Erica, I don't see her. It's just weird. I don't see her either. I agree with that. I don't like cars. Ever since I've had a SUV, I don't like cars anymore. Yeah, I'm gonna put if I can't put a refrigerator on that bitch, I don't want it. Now I don't have a pickup truck, but I want one. I want me a Ford F-150. That's my dream truck, but I ain't there yet because the price tag. F-150 was the big back. It was like, oh, this is nice. So can you guys hear me? Yes, we can. We just don't see you pop up somehow. I don't know how come. Your camera might not be out. Is your camera on? No. Oh no, we're driving, so I don't have the camera on. That's why. Okay. So you can talk. Yeah. Go ahead, Erica. Armel, are you trying to say that people should just live within their needs? So if we don't
What do you mean by that?
Is that what you're trying to say? Because I'm really trying to understand what point of view you're coming from. So you're saying
The point of view I'm coming from is the sacrifices that we make every day for everybody. We got husband going to work, man going to work. You know what I mean? We got this woman saying, fuck that. I got to have my job so I can take care of my kids. All these, I'm going to just do without a partner. Is that shit really worth it? I'd rather have somebody that I can depend on than a fucking job that could fire me at any time.
So,
but if you depend on somebody, what happens if something happens to that person? Where does that leave you?
This shit been going on ever in a day, right? Forever in a day.
That's what
I agree with you. But you also have to understand, like, with at-home wives, most of the time in marriages, the husband goes first, right? Because he works himself to the bone and he gets sick or whatever. So all these at-home wives that never worked before end up working at Walmart, Target, all these other places after their husband passed in order to learn how to take care of the bills. So it's like, I can depend on Billy all day, but God forbid something happened to Billy, that still puts me in the workforce. I would still have to start from somewhere, and instead of just working now and building up now. So if God forbid something does happen to him, I don't have to go back to the workforce. So I rather work now and help build and save rather than wait until something happens in order to get into the workforce.
Someone made a good point. That's a good point, Erica. That's something I said to Arnold. But someone made a point about life insurance that
we ain't gonna even get into that fucking shit. But I don't even want to even get into that shit. But for real, and I agree with you 100%, Erica, 100%, and that's one of the things that I'm talking about. If something happens to the person that you depend on, can you really even depend on a job? Because somehow a lot of these professional or so-called professional women or some women like Cass, because I used to vest, I was like, fuck that job. You know what I mean? That's how I used to carry it when she was running around the plant. Fuck that job. They don't give a fuck about you. Take off. And she more loyal to them. Listen to them motherfuckers than listen to me. But I'm just saying though, it's like, is it really worth it?
there are other people online. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Ray. Go ahead.
Now, keep on talking.
Huh?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can see you
and
too.
Also, Resilient Dad, we can't see him. He's on as well.
Can't see him.
Let me ask him. He came on first. Are you? Hello?
Huh?
Resilient Dad. He came.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. My camera's been messing up, since I've been trying to change out my VPN. But yeah, this is a great conversation. I'm not gonna lie. I don't even know where to start because I had a few points and I was like, man, you know what? Let's just let this thing ride. But one thing is for certain, right? If a man don't work, the man don't eat, right? And there's a few things into that saying, but also it's like, do you trade your time for currency or do you trade your time to be more present, right? And that's also something to consider, at least how I move, because I was so married to my job when I was in my 20s that my wife and I, even when I was home, I was still thinking about work. And then like to graduate to where we are now, right? Having opportunities to make sure my wife, her business and everything else, is on point. It kind of is like I'm eating my own dog food at a point. I was like, you're always busy. I thought I was the only busy one. So it's the chase of capitalism that really is the thing. And if you don't have that consensus of when to say when or when enough is enough, I mean, you're both going to be just AWOL, like there has to be a common understanding, a common ground on that. And that's my opinion. For instance, like I put in the chat, if $117,000 a year U.S. currency in California right, is still under the poverty line in 2023, and your wife can make 120, 130. What are we doing? You know, you can take that money and do so much stuff with that, right? But you're still under the poverty line here, right? So what are we really doing? What matters?
I think two was it? I don't know if there's a live before, 2 lives before, where I mentioned that it is actually a fact that a lot of people who make up to $250,000 a year they're actually still living paycheck to paycheck, because their lifestyle get bigger. Certain things just change, right? So the fact is, you're right. In California, when $17,000 is still below the poverty line, and that's actually happening in a lot of places where you can barely pay bills with that. Whereas 6 figures has to be like really $250 or more, $300K, for that the family has to really afford living in some places. You know.
Hey, what's up, y'all? How y'all feel?
Hey.
What's going on?
Hey,
Everything cool. Hey, everything's smooth. Hey, let me say something, and no disrespect to anybody, but just a thought, food for thought. Why does the poverty line dictate happiness? Because I know a lot of poor people that are hella happy.
What I'm saying.
Isn't that the truth? And that's what I said. Can you still live a decent life, right?
Sure.
There's a lot of people, everyone, right? Can you still leave
Exactly what I'm saying, yo.
A decent life, right? Can you still be happy?
ARD, let me just answer Billy, right? But Billy, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like I was saying earlier, right? When I was dead ass broke in Brooklyn, you know what I mean, getting the free cheese and having Medicaid subsidies because we wasn't at that particular point of income, right?
Yeah.
My life wasn't that fucking much different.
Yeah. You might have had a little more good memories back then too.
In terms of, you're just as happy.
Not just, I wasn't happy.
Can y'all hear me?
Happiness is some bullshit because I always been the same way. I always been fucking miserable.
Oh God.
I always want to.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, Ray.
Yeah, but just like what Billy was saying, I mean, I told my wife this many times, man. I was happiest when I was at my brokest. You know, and I'm just being honest with you. I mean, it was a different piece.
Hey,
you know
Ray, you already know when you had to
bullshit,
figure it out, everybody was on the same accord.
And the more shit you get, the more you start to worry. You know, I mean, hell, you get the big ass house note and shit like that. You got the car notes. You got all these different bills. When I was broke, all I had was my rent, my car.
I was about to say that
I had some buckets.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And my electricity.
I was about to say that. More
but
money,
I was happy
more
with my
problems.
buckets.
It's true. It's so
I mean,
true.
that's real. I mean, that's real.
I used to bartend. I used to earn some, get tips, and I was living on my tips, and I just had a little bit of rent to pay. You know, and I was so happy. I had a lot of money too.
Yo, I'm a little bit different.
You know,
I've been broke
real quick. Right?
I don't like
more
that
money.
Shit. Go ahead, Gina.
More money, more problems, right?
That's it.
Bring on the problems. Bring on the goddamn problems.
That. I think the reason why more money creates more problems is because superficially we go out and buy more things. We have to be smarter. So this is where people get the education part twisted. That education part that you do in college, no, you have to keep going out here and educating yourself on stuff. Why are we going out and buying big houses where we cannot see the persons that live in the house with us because we have so much space? For why? Why?
Yeah.
Like when I grew up, the house that we grew up in, we was almost on top of each other and we were fine. The house that I live in now, the reason we chose this house is because it was a decent size, but it wasn't so big to where we're just missing each other. Like, why are people going out and doing this?
I want to do it because I need my space.
That for
look.
You don't. If you need that space, then you shouldn't have got married with kids, because you should love the people that you're with. You should be okay being in the space with the people that you love.
Hell no.
Why do you need that?
I totally agree.
No.
I agree, Gina.
Because more money created more problems. No, you created more problems, not the money.
No,
I agree, Gina.
Now, hold on, I gotta agree to that.
But listen, let me finish. You could have took that money that you bought that big house with, that you don't see your people in, bought a smaller house, invested, created capital to create some wealth for generations,
Right.
instead of that big house that you probably ain't gonna have in the end. I work in bankruptcy. You know how many people I see have to give up them houses that they got paid 20 years
to maintain.
Nah, but hold on, wait.
Like I
Work
said,
smarter.
hold on.
Work
Yeah,
smarter.
I agree.
So to tune into what to go back to what Tappan said, all right, when he was talking about, if you was at your happiest when you was
That's
on broke
funny.
or whatever, get rid of everything. See, that's the problem. I like my shit too now. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I have all this shit, and even though it brings a little bit more stress, because I'm like, okay, I got to pay this, got to pay that. I mean, my bills are high as shit, but I still like all my shit. I'm being honest. I like my shit.
Yo, for real, I got so much shit I only got space for. I need a bigger house for all my shit.
Hey, but
All
look,
this
and
stuff I don't use, yeah, I need to buy a new house.
What somebody has sit there and said something about if you don't not liking the people that you're with. Now the thing is, I love the hell out of my wife. We don't like the same shit, so that's why I stay in the basement. So that's why I stay in the basement and she stays upstairs. Because
now we have that. My husband has a man cave. He has the basement. Our house is still not like ridiculously big either.
Yeah,
it's like 1,200 square feet. It's not that freaking big.
Yeah. But Gina, what you're saying is perfect, like, right, literally, and I agree with it, right? You want more space, right? Until you realize it's like, what am I doing with this space? Now, I'm not gonna lie, I got a few toys or whatever, and my wife has a few toys. Even in the house that we're living in now, we got 2 study rooms, 2 offices, whatever it is, right? My beautiful genius got a few rooms, right? And it's like, what are we doing with all this? Because we weren't supposed to be living in this house, actually. We were trying to rent this out to serve people that wasn't able to, figure this thing out, right? We're trying to hook them up.
You, because I'm an interrupting king, right? Do you need all the shit you got?
I want it. I don't need it.
That's it.
What's gonna happen with them toys when you gone? I like it when I hear the 2A people, and it's not just on knock on the 2A because I hear it in a lot of places. But I'm gonna say that because I'm on the 2A channel. The 2A people.
Let me correct you. Let me stop you. This ain't a 2A channel. You know what this is?
What?
This is a civil protection channel because
what the fuck you talking about? The name of the fucking channel is 2A. What the fuck?
I don't give a 2A channel for real. 2 Alpha. Hold up. This is about empowerment. Okay. And 2A is just part of it. You know what I mean? Because if you can't protect yourself physically, you gotta physically protect yourself first with one of these things that's on the table. But hold up, Cassian. You got to physically protect yourself. 2, mentally protect yourself. 3, spiritually protect yourself. And one of the ways we need to discuss, because a lot of the warfare that's going on, it's a huge psyops. If y'all watch me on Instagram, it's a huge psyop going on against us, making us these consumers, making us think we need more so we can work harder, so we can get more education and get in more debt. You see what I'm saying?
That's how it works.
So this channel is literally about protecting yourself against the bullshit. But the problem is, a lot of people don't know that it's the bullshit that we live.
That's what I be telling.
Hey, so check it out, right? Y'all right? Book smarts, street smarts, common sense. What costs more?
They're all the same shit to me.
No, it ain't.
But common sense usually means you got some street smart, because ain't nobody without street smarts got, street
book
smarts,
street smarts, and common sense. What costs more?
Book smart, I'll take common sense over book smart.
Exactly. You can read. You already said it. You can read all the books, get all the degrees, right, and still don't know which way is up.
Yeah.
You know, you can have street smarts, still get jammed up. Right. Common sense. Right. Common sense is something you cannot buy.
But this is the point I was going to make with the firearms. And not just firearms, just anything that's your thing. So like Ray said, him and his wife have different things. We create this thing in our head that the people that we leave behind are going to love these things that we love. And so we love these things and we're like, they're we treat them like they're the best thing on the world in the world, and we tell them about it, and we want them to be just as excited about it. And when you're gone, they don't care about that thing that you love. That thing is going to get soaked or given away
That
or
depends
whatever.
on the person, though.
Trust me, I know, because I done had to liquidate some stuff on some families. So they don't care. So don't create this fantasy in your head that somebody else is going to love it after you. Don't hold on to stuff.
Isn't that the truth, though, right? It's like when you pass down property, you pass down heirlooms and things are worth of value. If you don't pass down the care and the common sense with that, you're just giving it away like anybody else, right? So you have to pass down also the sense of value. You have to pass that down when you give somebody.
Property is different, though. That's a whole different.
We'll get into that, right? We'll get into that, setting up a trust, and so there's a lot of protections in the flow. And if you want to be a stay-at-home mom and you want to give this shit up, there's other ways to give to other corporations. You ain't got to be loyal to the ones that you work for.
Or if you want to be a stay-at-home dad, right?
Yo,
hold on.
We're teaching these bitches. You know what I mean? It can't be putting out like AI, make money from home, and you know what I mean? And we don't talk about it. We live this shit. So you don't gotta, you're gonna have to give to the system, but you don't gotta sacrifice, you know what I mean, both parents. I go out there and I gotta go do my thing, but she also does, and I'm the dependent. Because the thing she does, it doesn't come in fast all the time. But when it comes, and that allows us to enjoy certain privileges in life. But with that being said, if a husband and a wife or a boyfriend and a girlfriend, if y'all have a way to make it work, figure that shit out. And all the other shit, like the guns, because I have this really bad gun habit, you know what I mean? And ammo habit. And these cost money to feed these bitches. But, with that, sometimes you don't need that much, you know what I mean? Just schedule it. And I'll be mad as fuck when I can't buy my new gun. And I've been mad for 2 weeks.
I'm not judging, because I've actually, look, I done been bit by the firearm snake. So I in just a year, I probably have purchased more than anybody else a year.
Everything is $2,000, and it hurts, and I have to wait. Oh, you wait, and I was like, maybe I do a $700 joint. Wait,
buy that shit.
I don't want to buy
what you want. Get what you want.
I can't get what I want.
Get what you want. Get what you want.
I'm gonna get the shit anyway.
Sneak that bitch in.
I just can't get it when I want it.
Look, y'all talking the truth right now.
That's it. I'm gonna get what I want anyway, but I just can't get it when I want it. You know what I mean?
Right. They get your money up front, but you ain't gonna get it up front. Yeah.
I don't know I don't know what that means. That's that California shit.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. They get your money up front. You don't get it up front. That's what it is.
So, but there's plenty.
But the point about it.
What I'm really talking about is utilizing the technology. They're using technology to weaponize against the family, to get the kids to not talk to the parents, to get so that the time that you spend with your kids is not quality time. And your kids grow up, they fucking hate you, or when they get grown and they don't understand
what I was saying,
they to go through it, or whether it's mother or father, it kind of started as a woman, because Cassian said some stuff was like, I ain't depending on no man. Well, so you rather depend on a fucking job? I'm more reliable than a job. Than that corporation. I know it's not just that. But they say a man could emotionally abuse you. Do the job emotionally abuse you?
I don't know.
Do the job psychologically abuse?
Please do not equate both of them, because you know what I think.
I know, but you can still think about it.
I don't agree with what.
Does a job? I'm just saying. Let's stick to the facts, not your personal shit.
It's not.
Can a job psychologically abuse you? Can a job? Anybody in here?
My jobs have.
I can't. I respectfully decline to answer.
Yeah,
But
no.
one thing is for sure.
That's because we all got jobs.
Look, I
Fuck around and
have
be
a
fired.
corporate job and I own yeah, and so it's like I get both
Okay,
sides. To
being
it.
that we all have corporate jobs and all of this.
I'm trying to get on, you know.
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah.
The thing about we could all have corporate jobs and all this, but this is the reason why they have all that training, this implicit bias training, this sexual harassment training, this workplace harassment training. And I know if you all have corporate jobs, y'all sit and watch. They so gully with it, they just give you a YouTube video or Skillshare, a skill mill, or general.
Yeah, going through the training part of it,
videos that walk in
right? I
America.
set everything up for those. Yeah.
You know what I mean? We all have these videos. So if
Yeah.
it wasn't a problem, it wouldn't be a fucking video in a training for it, how to handle it.
I don't know. Wait a second. You've been talking for a while.
Go ahead.
Alvin, you have the stage.
Alvin, talk your shit.
Dutch,
his microphone is off. Dutch, turn your microphone on.
Unmute your phone.
Cause he's sitting there laughing.
Oh.
Unmute your thing, Dutch.
Well,
You up?
I just make sure you don't talk no.
Go ahead. Here you go.
Go ahead, Dutch. Say your piece, but be careful. Go ahead. Say your piece.
Dutch.
Okay. When you figure it out, we'll come back to you. You done talking?
I ain't never done it, but go ahead.
I just,
Jesus.
I'm not saying that your job can't psychologically abuse you. I'm not saying that, but somehow you're trying to equate that with depending on a man and all this stuff. I mean, I don't understand.
That's what I don't understand it either.
That's like apples and freaking oranges.
Why is it apples and oranges? Now explain it. How is it apples and oranges?
It don't make no sense.
I'm just asking you. What's the trade-off? How is it apples and oranges? Please explain to me.
No, okay. I, for one, never believed or I've been taught never to depend upon no man.
Why?
Because as a person, not even as a woman, but as a person, I should be self-sufficient.
So can you depend on a job?
Well, the fact is, I'm always somebody who will tell a job to go fuck itself because I think I'm amazing. I can figure things out my own.
Well, hey,
The only thing we're depending on our jobs for is a paycheck. Let's just be real.
Exactly. If you can figure out how to earn,
What else do we want from them?
As long as you believe in
That is
yourself,
interesting.
okay?
You know, I'm out of that one, but that is an interesting dynamic.
Abuse.
Okay.
Right? It's about you.
So you depend on a job for a paycheck.
No. It's
You-
about.
I'm saying that.
Okay, so
You
it's
depend on
about.
the job.
It's not about depending on the job or but it's about being self-sufficient. That's what it is. So you're trying to equate the two of them when that's not the whole purpose of any of
No,
getting a job is to be self-sufficient. And then you bring that self-sufficiency into a relationship and the both of you make it work. Not being dependent on either person or anything. You make it work. And sometimes, again, Michelle Obama made a good point. In a relationship, it's really 50-50. Sometimes it's 10% here, 9% here. But you still have
That's
to balance the
codependency.
scale.
That's codependency.
No, I'm talking financially.
We ain't talking about financial. We talk about dependency. Don't put the bread in it. Because if you put the bread in it, you take it to another level.
The job is you get some freaking money. Nobody, okay, I know as a manager,
nobody works for fun.
Where you want to make sure that the employee goals align with the company goals, and then they try to psycho fuck you to convince people that somehow you making the shareholders plenty of money benefit you, which is bullshit. But they try to tell you to somehow psycho fuck your employees to believe that bullshit, right? But people nowadays, luckily, that's a good thing. People nowadays realize that shit is bullshit. So what they do now, slow quitting, they're not working extra. People realize that they're trying to balance it where the work is the job is a paycheck, and you still make sure you find time.
This is how I know ain't nobody quitting. This is how I know ain't nobody quitting, right?
They're slow quitting on that. That's what they call it.
They be quitting.
They quitting?
Wait, you haven't heard about what's going on? Like, no, everybody's
I want to
quitting.
go on strike, man. Everybody go on strike, man. I was telling Ray was telling you, I was telling Ray, everybody go on strike, man. Fuck that. What happened if everybody stopped going? Everybody talk about prepping and fucking world fallout and niggas jumping out of parachutes and shit. What if niggas just not niggas? What if people just stop going to work for a week?
Yeah.
You know what happened?
And check it out.
Well, I mean,
Check it out,
that
check
would
it out,
change
check
a
it out.
whole lot of shit as far as jobs, especially if people,
Look.
you know, do it for a purpose. You know, say in this day and time, I mean, you know, we're not getting paid like we should, and they know that.
I
They
got
know-
a
they know
powerful
that shit.
stance. Every woman that has a child just doesn't go to work for a week. We're gonna shut this bitch down. This bitch is going to oppression, bro.
Look, one thing about it is
Woman's
two
power
things,
week.
right?
What up, Jason?
Every woman.
First of all,
just-
if you're not quitting, you're getting laid off, right? I was responsible for a big layoff, you know, right before Thanksgiving. So it didn't matter what color of creed you were, where you came from, right?
Mhm.
I had to, you know, push the button, unfortunately. And, you know, after that, I blessed them out of my own pocket. But self-sufficiency, right? It's a difference of, you know, when a man goes to work, do you say he's just trying to be self-sufficient? A woman goes to work, is she trying to be self-sufficient? Right? And then when you're together and you decide to create a union, right? Everything is ours at this point. Yeah, we know a couple of things, is this and that, right? But the thing is the togetherness, right?
That
So
shit's
what are
cute,
you
bro.
really married? No, it don't sound good. It actually live good. You know, what are we actually doing here, right?
What are we actually doing? But for real, that's the moral point of the whole thing. And everything should be we and ours, right? But in reality, is that the way it really is? Because certain shit, I know as a husband, certain shit I don't want my wife involved in.
Like what?
Like a certain shit. Like leave me alone when I go in the fucking basement. This is my mental space.
That's different though, Arno.
Yeah, but
That's
just
just
like
mental space.
you know,
You infringe on mine all the time, but I have to respect yours. So
yeah.
Oh, you block him. My husband used to try to infringe on mine. This is my space. I'm like, I don't do that to your space. Don't do it.
Oh my gosh,
Nah. You know what? I got to call bullshit on that because wives will take space. When they know you got your happy spot, they going to come in
I
like
don't.
Pac-Man and gobble that shit up.
I don't.
I am a natural introvert. I'll be fine somewhere by myself all freaking day. I don't even talk to nobody. Okay? So Armand will be in this world, and I do leave him alone. But if I'm in my own world, and my world is to watch TV and block out whatever, he come and say, "Oh, you're watching TV? I'm watching TV." I'm like, man, I'm in my own space. Leave me alone.
You can't have your own space.
See?
You don't respect my space, but you expect me to respect yours. Like
That's how my husband is. My husband is our male.
Wake me up. I'm like, when you're sleeping, I don't bother you. I get
Yes, she does, bro.
Here all the time when I'm live, and y'all see me mute, and I'll look up this way. That means I'm talking to him because he has some odd
I don't see it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't see.
It's like when he wants attention, you have to give him attention right now, right now, regardless of what you're doing. Anyway, go ahead though. Yes.
Yo, because it's a sense of urgency. Because I ain't calling you on no bullshit.
I know. Seriously,
You
something.
don't even have to say, Cash. You don't even have to say.
It's only good way. It's like as soon as something pops in his head, he wants you to immediately act on it. I'm like, what the fuck?
This is what happens, right? And
How's the shit doing?
and this is the crazy shit. This is why these kids. I dropped the video earlier today, and I said Gen Z is doomed, right? On Instagram. The thing is, right? I don't think men and women were taught the natural progress, the natural station of their powers. I don't think they're taught their true powers. Men, I know, right? In case women didn't know, have to constantly be active. If a nigga is bored, if a dude is bored, if a man, any man is, regardless of the race, in his genetic makeup, if he's not doing something, if he's not active, he's doing something he ain't supposed to be doing. whether he wasting time or he has to stay active. Like them dudes that just sit there and just watch, do the video game thing, like my son do all day. My son,
That's active.
because he doesn't have anything else to do.
So what's your point?
So and women,
Because I was gonna say you can make some real money playing games.
he ain't trying to make money because he ain't trying to think that far because nobody is directing that far. Women's thing, women seem to be naturally wired. What?
Aaron said, "Yeah, that's how it was like that, yo." It's like seriously.
Yeah, niggas start pressing the buttons on the microwaves and shit. Cook something like, hey, cook. Go to the fucking store. You know, I could never, when I was growing up, I could never get into a game or nothing like that because every time I start doing something, my mother would be like, go to the store,
That's why you
get
have
like
to be all
this.
the time.
I was always running constantly. You know what I'm saying? There was never idle time. If I had an idle time, I'd just take
That's
it.
why you bother me because you think you're, but you have idle time all the
But I do have idle time all the
And I
time.
leave you
But
alone.
usually when a man has idle time, he's up to no he's doing something,
That means
either
you're up to
wasting
no-
time or
that means
doing
you're-
some
that
shit
means
that he
you're-
don't need to be
That
doing.
means you're up to no good down in the basement.
You see what I'm saying? No, yeah, it could be. It could be. But most of the time, I'm in my situation, I'm doing other shit. But
Don't tell on yourself. Hold on, Armel.
Don't tell yourself, Armel.
No, I'm following you.
never up to no good. I'm always busy.
I know.
I'm always
I
busy.
leave you alone all the time, all the time. No, you tell me.
You leave me alone when I'm on the phone.
You're up to no good. You're up to no good. So
When I'm left alone, what am I doing? On the phone.
yeah, you talk too much, man.
I'm usually on the phone. I'm messing with DC Money and Alvin Battles right here. Alvin, I'm usually on the phone with Alvin. I'm talking to Alvin like 4 or 5 times a day.
You're a talker.
I chat when I don't have anything to do, and a lot of times when I'm chatting, I'm working out problems and issues. You know what I mean? And that's it. That's idle time. But what I'm saying is, and a woman, we just talk about dudes. But a woman's thing is to constantly give that dude purpose, so he doesn't have this so much idle time.
Someone would disagree with you. Why a woman gotta give you purpose though?
Go ahead.
Thank you for asking my question.
Why we gotta be the one to give you purpose?
What?
You,
Because he can't figure it out on their own.
that means a man
When did we sign up for that job?
Huh?
When did we sign up for that job? I didn't apply for that.
It's your natural thing. I'm sure you can think of like 5 things you can tell him to do.
I
Right.
ain't gonna say that we don't do it. I'm just saying we don't sign up to do that. We
It's-
don't.
you know,
Yeah, and you know, my wife, she don't really.
Official,
To be honest,
If it's out there to make your idea.
a fish shouldn't have to be a fish.
Now I wanna see
look, the purpose thing, maybe that's a different choice of words. You know, my wife, she gives me focus, right? And it's focused on things that I need to do. Yeah, I mean, I got heck of stuff that I got to go ahead and do this. I got to do this. I got to do that, right? And that's in love, right? But she gives me focus. She doesn't really give me purpose because I've already had the purpose, you know, and it's not taking anything away from my wife, you know, but we had to understand the difference between that and this, right? It's 2 different things. No, like focus, right? Like if you're an ain't stuff person, you're gonna be an ain't stuff person, right? And that's your purpose, right? Like that's just what it is.
Hey,
Right.
drop
But
that
when
link.
you have a great woman and you are a great man, like you guys like just focus on what the targets are, not necessarily, you know, I need you to breathe, I need you to live. Did I make sense on that, Erica?
You ain't make sense to me.
Yes,
but
you do. He's saying
I
that.
think
See?
focus is
50-50.
actually not the right word, but yeah, I got it. But I think that sometimes men don't see their full potential sometimes. And I'm not saying all men, I'm just saying some. And sometimes it is us to say, hey, you know, that thing you do, you're really good at it. Have you thought about XYZ? and that might push you into looking into it more and maybe heading in that direction. Because sometimes, and that it's not just men, women can be that way too, where they just need a little directional push where they don't see, because they just feel like, oh, I just do that. Like I see a lot of people on YouTube who do things and they're like, oh, that's just what I do. I mean, I just enjoy doing it. And they don't see that they're actually really good at it.
CNT Design, what's up, Cool?
And I
Ray, what
totally
you
feel you
like
on
that?
that, Gina.
Say what?
Yes, ma'am.
You sitting there like that, talk that shit.
Oh, I'm shit, man. I'm just taking it all in. I mean, I got to disagree with you on some of the shit, though. You know, like the whole, like, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. The whole thing. I have 2 daughters, and one thing I told my daughters growing up: don't depend on a damn man. Yep, because I am a man. I'm a man, and I know we ain't fucking dependent.
Yeah. Who gonna cut their grass, Ray?
Hire
Huh?
Somebody I
I'm gonna
hire.
be cutting their damn grass more than likely.
When I was cool, I
I mean,
hired
that's just me
somebody.
because I'm gonna go there. I want the shit to look good. So I mean, hell, you know, I'm gonna do what the fuck needs to be done.
I
That's
ain't
just me. I'm the grass man. You know, but yeah, I told my daughters that, man. I told my daughters, go out there, get an education, get a trade. All right, buy your own house, have your own car, and find you somebody that's coming.
And that's self-sufficiency, right?
Yeah,
Right.
don't find what you, and what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm not sitting there saying, you know, if the dude is say, you know, a garbage man or you know whatever. As long as the motherfucker is working, you know, because you don't want to be sitting there supporting no man who all he does is play video games and sit in the passenger seat.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? You don't want that shit. You want somebody that's going to bring the same, even if he's not bringing the same income, he's bringing that same mindset.
Yeah.
You know,
Work
and that's what I
ethic.
told my daughters. I said, you
Energy.
don't want that. You
Ethic.
don't want that lazy ass fucking dude. And there's a lot of this generation here. You see a lot of lazy ass motherfuckers that don't want to do
It's
shit.
been lazy motherfuckers for years, bro.
Yeah.
For
Look, check.
thousands
It's all
of
about
years.
what you can do in the bedroom, but as soon as that's over, what else
Can
you
you hear
gonna
me?
do? Because the
I'm
lights
out.
get cut off, that water don't work, that food, hey, that refrigerator empty. What's up?
ARG, let Alvin talk, please.
Go ahead, Alvin. Say your piece.
Alvin,
You can't figure out how to work the mic.
Alvin.
Am I the only? Can you hear me?
We
Yeah,
can
we
hear
hear
you.
you.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Am I the single guy in here?
If what?
He asks if he's the only single guy. Stop cooking and focus on the dad.
he might be on the panel. I'm not in the chat.
In the chat, who else is not single?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just saying he might be. I didn't say he was.
I think you are.
The single person on the chat, yeah.
I know everybody in the chat right
I
now.
didn't know
I
the
think
people
you
in the
are.
chat are married. I mean, the people on the
Drop
panel
off.
are married.
I think he is, man.
No, it's love.
Only single dude over 50, man.
Don't be doing like that, Armand.
Yeah, because he think it's like, I don't know. He think it's like, I don't know. The statistics are, I believe what they said. The statistics show, but you know, the statistics are what they are. And the statistics are weaponized against the family, and it's purposely done.
You think they're only weaponizing the women? Is that the thing?
The women is the secret weapon. The men are deep, right?
Weapon.
But once you the women is so important. These women nowadays underplay their fucking role, and that's the shit that pissing me off. If the women know that the fucking system is shitting on us, and all they got to do is whisper that shit, and people and men will go. But men don't even know. A woman's job is not a woman's position. It's not just sitting up there and fighting for myself.
Flagging.
Women's job is informative. It's to nurture. It's to cultivate. You know what I mean? You cultivate. Baby, I'm going to work every day. This shit. These people is like, all right, baby, you don't need to be going through that bullshit. I gotta carry it, or we gotta downsize. Let him figure out solutions.
I didn't take that class. So where was the class at that told what the woman's job was? I missed that one.
You know it's 2023, right?
class was. My class, yo.
It was supposed. The class is supposed to be their mother.
She already got the answer in her head, but she has to
created this class that you men think what women are supposed to do.
Ooh, I gotta get off of here. I gotta
hold on. Completely. Who's feeding that?
Hold on. Hey,
Amel, can you hear me?
I think Alvin trying to say something.
Amel, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hold up.
Hold on. Let Alvin talk. Go ahead.
No, hold up. I didn't hear what Gina said because I'm about to make a class. Goddamn it.
Hello?
Go ahead, Alvin.
Listen. Let me tell you. It's supposed their mother. They're supposed to get it from their mothers. They're supposed to be raised. They're supposed to be taught to do that. To be wise.
What does that mean?
To be wise.
What does that mean?
What do you mean? What does that mean? To be wise?
Articulate.
What does that mean? What do you think a wife is?
To be nurturing, to be feminine, to be submissive to her man, to be a helpman.
It's 2023. You better think. Hey, Alvin. Hey,
a landmine.
Help me. Listen.
Yo.
Listen. Let me tell you.
I'm not staying long because this.
Listen. Listen. I want to. If all them married, because 1 out of 4 black women are married, they're the most married women on this planet. Not funny at all. You know.
Who's mobile, nigga?
Reality.
No, you need to get a better phone, man.
Somebody got a mute. I don't know what that is.
He breaking up, bro.
Breaking up.
Go ahead, Rodney. Go ahead, talk your shit.
Yo, I hear a lot of Western nonsense about men shouldn't be dependent on. Listen, B. The man is the backbone of the family. And the man is supposed to be dependent on. Some things may be different in different countries, different areas, but the man is still the man. I don't care what people say. Oh, you don't need a man to do this. You don't need a man to do that. You can hire somebody. Bullshit. The man is the foundation. Without a good, strong man, there is no family. That's why we got a lot of chaos in the West amongst black people. And that's the way I feel. It's the way I feel. All I know, listen, hear me out for a second. All I know is strong foundation. All my grandparents is married. Uncles and aunts, everybody married. We are the anti, the anti-stereotype. I'm married. You know what I mean? We the foundation. Without somebody, without a strong black man, it's chaos. And that's why we got a lot of chaos in this country and a lot of chaos amongst black communities in the West. That's the way I really feel about it.
Facts. Let me say this.
Real talk. That's the way I feel about it.
If I can't depend on a person, I ain't really fucking with them. You know what I mean? So I'm asking, right?
Okay.
Can you depend on me?
I can, but depend. We were talking about.
Can you depend on me?
Different types of.
Can you depend on me? No.
Yes,
can you depend on me with your fucking life?
Yes, I can. But there are different types of dependency, and no everyone's conflicting everything. Because my whole point is that yes,
Hold on, sir. I'm going to talk to you in a second.
It's good to be dependent on your partner, but in the end, we also have to be by ourselves sufficient as well, because anything can happen. So,
true, but how often, Cassie, how often does chaos really happen in this world?
Every day,
Nah, man, because listen. I'm from a family where the men cook better than the women. The men still know how to sew. The men know how to take care of themselves. Like my mother learned more from her brothers and her father than she learned from a woman.
But what I'm saying is, how by me saying about being self-sufficient, how does that take away from that?
This is what
I'm not taking any away from that.
No,
I feel that's the way I feel.
No,
I am the rock. I am the foundation of my family.
Rodney, what I said does not take away from that. What I'm saying is that does not take away from the importance of having a strong male figure. What I'm saying is both of us, both partners, both individual person need to be self-sufficient to some extent.
Cassie, yes, but what I see here, that in this country, there's a serious level of what do you call it? Emasculation of black men.
And
every lady now want to be a boss.
Right.
Everybody want to be a this and a that. No. We all got to learn to play your position.
But the thing is, you got to realize that the time that we're living in. Hold on, Armel. Hold on. But the thing is, right now, and what he's saying is the truth, because we're living in a world now with social media and all this other bullshit and reality TV. All these females are looking at this shit, and you get these women calling themselves boss bitches, and I don't need a man, I don't need this, and every damn thing else. But then you see these same motherfuckers in the club looking for a man. You know what I'm saying? And that's the shit right there. And that's where the problem comes in at. Because everybody, I don't give a fuck who you are. Everybody needs somebody to sit there and build what you have.
Listen.
But the other thing too is that nowadays what we have is just like I said, you got all these little and excuse what I'm saying, all these little fuck boys. That's what we're gonna call them, fuck boys. These little motherfuckers out here, who want to be little kids and shit like that, want to play video games, want to sit in the passenger seat, do all that little bullshit right there instead of being a fucking man. They don't want to get a job because they want to sit around and smoke weed all day. And I'm like, come on, man, what the fuck are you doing?
You gotta get up and go.
My daughters, you don't want a fuck boy. You want a man.
The man leads. A woman doesn't lead the house, yo. I know I'm gonna offend some people, but no woman's supposed to lead the house. A man leads the house.
Hey, and I agree.
I'm gonna get to this.
I agree on that. I'm sorry. I agree on that shit. The man is supposed to be the man's supposed to be the head if he's sitting there doing what the fuck he's supposed to do.
Yeah, and women, like there's no place for us except for in the house.
Do you think you're more effective in the house, Gina, or in the workplace?
You more. My kids aren't here when I'm at work. Their kids ain't there anyway. Why not go make some money?
Why are they there?
They in school. Shouldn't they be at school?
I hate that school shit though. How much better? And we're in this place. We're in between this place.
Give me a second. I'll be there in a minute.
I don't even know what the fucking school is worth, bro. And we got probably the best school district in the country. It's like number 1 or number 2 rated in the fucking country, and I don't even know what it's fucking worth.
Yo, they're teaching these kids to be dumb, deaf, and blind, man.
I would prefer that Zadie's at home with Cassian all day. That shit, I'll go earn.
Yeah.
Because I think she learns more over the summer than she does all year at school.
I mean, to put context, I've actually continued at ABA therapy and I'm doing it myself. And she started in the evenings from 3 to 6.
Gentlemen, I'll be right back. I'll fall back. I'll be right back.
And also, I gotta drop as well, but man, hey, thank you guys for this time. And y'all already got it together, man. Keep provoking the minds right now, all right? Y'all be all right. Y'all be better than good, all right?
This here is a civil protection program here, man.
Hey,
like I said, y'all be better than good enough.
Talk your shit and start some shit channel.
Yeah, I'm gonna start some shit, and we're gonna work out some problems, and I'm gonna write a book because I see too much of the system is the whole thing that's live for real. I think we brainwash our women, man. Our women are better. I know for a fact Cass is better with Zadie than I am. You know what I mean? I know for a fact. I could probably fix stuff or do some shit like that. I'm good with other stuff and go do that. But as far as when it comes to being nurturer for Zadie, I think that Cass is a better fit for that, even better than this damn school.
I'm supposed to be. I'm my mother.
What she's saying is, so sometimes she's sexist and she said, I'm supposed to be because I'm her mother, but at the same time, it's just like, why don't you got it? All right. You see what I'm saying? So it becomes contradictory. And that contradiction happens because of the shit that society is feeding us. This fucking internet, these fake ass standards that these fake ass people made in order to get us. This is the history of the problem. So here's the history of it, because I'm like a history.
And what you're saying, Armel, before I dip, is you can't.
Go ahead.
You can't choose.
I never quite understood why some women would choose to be a stay-at-home mom.
She shamed them, actually.
I didn't shame nobody. What
you said? Because you never call nobody no bum bitch. They didn't do nothing with their life.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying. No.
Not internet component, but you never said that.
I really gotta go though, but I'll be here for you.
Let me finish. Will you please stop? Stop interrupting me.
I'm just saying. Okay.
Thank you.
Much love and respect. Hey, keep it going. I'll see y'all soon. All right.
Take it easy, ARD.
But hey, ARD. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, I will say, before I had Zadie, I was at the point where I was like, okay, fine. I don't understand how women could just choose to be a stay-at-home and not work. I'm gonna be honest with you, right?
You wasn't a mother.
But becoming a mother, I made the choice to stay at home, but still, my being at home, my brain running a mile a minute to figure out how am I gonna make some money still, even while being at home. So I'm still thinking of earning. It's just earning on my terms versus being in corporate America working 9 to 5. Okay? Because now my goal is how can I work as little bit as possible and still earn as much as possible to spend as much time as possible with Zadie. So it's a little bit of time working and most of the time spent with her and nurtured her. That's my goal, right? But prior to having her, that probably wouldn't have been a thought that I would have. But having her changed my perspective on that.
And the thing I say about that is, right, if you earning, corporate America is paying you out $100,000 a year, they're making $100 million off of you.
That is true.
Yeah.
True.
They're making $100 million off of you.
That's true.
So the whole trick too, if you're already in corporate America earning, you got to ask yourself, and this is what I'm trying to get at. You have to ask yourself, what is my value? And how can I transition that value from them to me? And it ain't, that answer to that is not in the bag. It's not in the money. How can I transmit that value? And it needs to be said for men and for women. So Cass, let me tell you this. Cass introduced me to this, right? This concept. Because I'm a worker bee ass. I was a slave before. I'm still a slave, but now I'm a runaway slave. Cass introduced me to the fact is you can incorporate or you can make a business if you're doing this for them. Get this set up on the side. Set up a handyman company or set up a construction company. You know what I mean? You doing this shit for them already. You know, all the stuff. Set up a project management company or something like that. She got that. And she gave me, but I was doing the shit anyway. But I was doing it for someone else.
Yeah.
Whoever I was doing it for, the only thing they was giving me was a fucking paycheck. But that paycheck, was that enough? It was enough to pay the bills and to take care of my family, but it wasn't enough to add on to what's next, the legacy. And that changed my entire approach to life. You know what I mean? And I have grown kids. I have grown kids and they fucking complain, oh, I was in this world by myself and all this shit, not knowing that the sacrifice it took for them to get that goddamn privilege. Ungrateful, I wish I could get a receipt and turn their ass back in and get my daggone money back, but it don't work like that. You know what I mean? Because they are completely ungrateful, but their lives and they and they have their certificates and their degrees and shit, and they still ungrateful. And you don't get no return receipt.
They don't have return receipt.
But it doesn't. You can't negate the fact that it's important for the father to also be present. He can't just sacrifice for the bag.
Yes.
Okay, and I didn't sacrifice for the bag.
Gotta make the bag.
Very, very, very good point.
I didn't sacrifice for the bag. It wasn't just the bag.
Away.
But that's a very good point, because I said to Arma that I'll say this: my father was present in the home, but was he really present? He was not. He was there, but he wasn't present. And I said to him, that's so being in the same house does not matter if you're not going to put the quality time in with your kids and spend time with your family in a quality way. And that's something that I stressed to him, that you need to make sure that you spend more time with Zadie and spend more time with us as a family and do more family things, okay? Because, yeah, you're here, but you have to be present in the moment, because these are the things that matter and that which
I say you need to downsize. That's possible, because if you was poor and we can make a little bit of money and stuff and like that, I could be more present. But most of the time, I'm thinking about how to get more to maintain the program.
That's not an excuse.
It's not an excuse. It's the fucking truth. I have to feed my job is to feed the program.
Drop the link again. Both trying to get in. Drop the link. Both trying to get in. Drop the link.
Oh, he's
Bo, drop the link, Cassie.
One second, I'm gonna look for it. I have to look for it again.
Nah, it's right here, Cassie.
All right, then fine. Okay, it's fine. I got it.
Yeah, but yeah, you got to find a way. My job is to feed the program. If I can't feed the program in its present state, I need to change the state to feed it.
It doesn't matter though. You always have to.
But the fact is, all the shit that we say we need, it's just what society is producing. It's just sending us message. You need this. You need that. You need a man that makes this amount of money. You need a man that at least doing something. And that's not even the case. You just kind of like, you need a man that you can depend on.
I feel like in some ways men have taken, not not all men, but men are taking parts of what society has marked as people's job, I guess you could say, within this world. So women and men, that's a societal thing. Nobody gave you those directions. You saw this as what society dictated, that this is what women are supposed to do. This is what men are supposed to do. And you ran with it.
No, what I'm looking at more is nature. What society has created, they didn't give us a book for. That's why Armel going to sit here and write a book and how to protect ourselves from society and thrive, not just survive this shit.
How did nature tell you that women's?
I don't know why nature gave me a dick. I can't figure that shit out myself, but it feels good. I like it. But I'm sorry, but that's the real shit. Yeah, I don't know why that shit be working. This shit, right? I really don't know why. My language ain't no kids in here, but I don't know why.
Yo,
I don't know why we men and we women and we not hermaphrodites and shit. I really don't. That's a question that's bigger than me. You feel me? If we was all meant to be the same, we would have been looking all the same with white faces.
That's very true, and that also goes in genders. All women are not made the same. All men are not made the same.
Exactly.
But there's primary features. There's things that make men and women women.
Procreation.
Reproductive. And that's the best thing. Look. In engineering,
Armel, don't go. Please don't go.
Hey, Armel, let Bolt jump in.
Yeah, go ahead, Bolt.
Let Bolt jump in.
Nah, I'm a little off topic. Peace, everybody. I'm a little off topic, but I was touching back on what Rodney was talking about, and like Ray, I have a daughter. You know what I'm saying, she's 17, about to be 18 next week, right? So like, I try to install in her. It's not so much of gender roles. It's just a matter of, be able to stand on your own too. Be able to don't fold up and die and become see-through and transparent when you don't have that man, which is needed. And respectfully, you know, a man is a man. He's supposed to do his job. But in an event where you don't happen to run into one of those, your life ain't over. It has started. You know what I'm saying? So get yourself together. Be able to stand on your own too. Be efficient in what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Get your life under control. Learn how to handle bills. Learn how to do this. And that's structuring her as an individual. Because, you know, you can't always attach yourself responsibility-wise to somebody, you know, which would be great. You know what I mean? If that's a dream to have another half to meet you halfway, and that's a dream. But in the event where that don't happen until you're 35, and you don't have that perfect significant other that's going to meet you and things working out the way it's supposed to. I mean, that don't mean that your life as an individual is not what it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's the point I was trying to make.
This is the point I'm trying to make. I'm gonna counter your point on that, right? Mm-hmm. If she can't find a man, she got that father. You know what I mean? That's it. A dude that she can have her own. She got a father. You know what I mean? Right. So basically, she doesn't need. Only thing she depends on her father. If she doesn't have a man, she needs a man to depend. Is her father a woman?
Right. No, I get it.
She has to have some sort of man. You know what I'm saying? If Zadie doesn't have anything, she got me. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if she, if Zaria or something doesn't have a boyfriend, which I don't even know.
Right. Yeah, you know, but
she has me. I ain't going there.
She
has a father. You know what I mean? Or I can't do anything. I have a place to go.
The indoor be-all is
it doesn't have to be an intimate relationship, but a man has a purpose. That's the ladies, the girls in his life, and the women in his life. He has to provide them shelter and security. Whether it's a father, whether it's a brother, whether it's a boyfriend, and some of these dudes skip the road. So
all right. So look, as a man, like you're saying, fathers, men, we you know, I would like to say
as a husband or a boyfriend.
I haven't been taught how to father, but like, you know, I got a daughter, I got daughters, and I got a daughter and I got sons. You know what I'm saying? So you got a protocol for each. So the talent that we got to, myself, I had to conjure up this talent about evaluating life and things that I see around me and how I wanted to do it to come up with my own agenda. You know what I'm saying? So now I have to dictate and install certain things, whether they my daughter or my sons, on how to be the best they could be individually. You know what I'm saying? So they could, you know what I'm saying? Like how Erica just said, she don't want to have a man, she don't want to have to pay the bills or want to have like my wife, she'll stay home. Armel, you know what I'm saying? How it is, how we working it. You know what I'm saying? But in an event where something could, like you said, something could happen to me. So now it's like I'm at the point of like, well, like, damn, I'm thinking about that. Like, yo, what if something happened to me? Now I got to set up my future in case something happens to me. Now they good or whatever. But what I'm saying is the indoor be-all is never be in a situation where you can't hold yourself down. I don't care if it's my son, my daughter, you know what I'm saying? Never be in a situation where you can't hold yourself down. And that starts today. Prepare. Just like how we prepping and getting all these guns and we training and we doing this, that's preparation. You know, you got women on the range too, preparation. So I want to install those same preparations in them when it comes to finance, when it comes to anything, you know what I'm saying? Stand up. Now, if you lock up and get
let me interrupt you, Bo. That's called protections. That's called securities. Right. Before shit hits the fan, you got to have a certain systems in place, and that's what I would like to feel this channel is about, is securing the situation before it happens.
Well, you know, being prepared.
Preparation. This is like, I know for a fact, no matter if this is a recession, my shit, like I said, my life didn't change since I was poor or didn't have anything. It's still the fucking same. So it doesn't matter what the president.
I ask you, how you keep on saying that?
It's still the same.
How is it the same? What do you mean?
Because I'm still fucking Armel.
That doesn't answer the question. And stop cussing. What do you mean? Clarify what you mean. How is it the same?
Okay. How is it the same, right?
Yes. How is it the same?
I still got to pay bills, right?
Okay.
Did the bills change?
They're more, but yeah.
Did the bills, regardless of how much they are, I still got the bills, right?
Okay.
Okay, the bills is there, right?
Okay, and
All right. On top of the bills, I still got to go to the bathroom. I got to put my clothes on, and I still got to go to work and find a hustle.
so
Dutch said they even had easy bake ovens and baby dolls, and that's a fact, Dutch. Like,
Please don't do that, bro.
okay, yeah, but I
nah, but I mean that's real.
put CRT designs up there because it says if the man is not the head of the home, it will be the government that heads the home.
I'm happy.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
It is.
No,
If it's not the government, this is where I want to correct CNT design. It's not the government, it's the corporations or the job.
Okay.
okay. I don't know, not in
Y'all
Jamaica.
making no sense. I don't know why this even makes sense, but y'all are not making the sense. It is so
I need clarification here. But I'm not gonna get into Alvin battles
What
with
did you
this.
say?
Yeah, easy bake. Where's that good? I miss this shit. This is a.
Alvin.
I used to have easy bake ovens and baby dolls.
Sure did, hell. My girl cousins used to cook up some shit, boy, and I used to eat that shit too.
Yo,
I ain't gonna lie.
Cookies.
That easy bake was the shit.
that's the teacher.
To touch on
Shit.
to touch on what he just said about
the mildest that he has said. This is the mildest of anything that he has said. Actually, this is the mildest. Anyway, Alvin.
to touch on what he said about the government, if it's not a man at the head of household, then it'll be the government. That's what I'm saying. I don't want my daughter to be in a situation where she is relying on nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, stand up, get your cones, set up your cones right.
Mm-hmm.
Be independent or whatever. Not to say I don't need a man, but just to say I am not going to wither away and die and be non-existent if I don't have somebody to do it for me. I mean, set yourself up. You know what I'm saying? Do what you want to do. So there is no government.
That's exactly because that's how I grew up. Where you as a woman, you do what you need to do, and yeah, it wasn't a requirement where you have to find a husband. You have to find that wasn't what I was taught as a requirement. It was like as a person, I have to be self-sufficient in every way. And yes, if I find a partner, yeah, then that's just amazing and stuff. But it doesn't define me as a person. It means that he comes as a whole person. I come as a whole person, and then we turn that whole into 20%.
That's as an adult. I personally don't believe that a young lady should leave her house with her father and her mother until she meets a person that should replace her father.
You buggers.
Oh my God.
And look, he couldn't say that shit with a straight face.
He did, didn't he?
I mean, he couldn't say that
You don't think it's
Y'all never
like
doing
bullshit.
I don't give a I don't have self-esteem issues. I don't have self-esteem issues where
I don't know what it makes sense.
yo,
That's that alpha for real. You don't want no
40 years old.
but yeah, I gotta tell you this. My wife, like, did I replace your father?
That's that alpha life for real.
No, you okay. Here's the thing though. Ahmed has traits of my father. And like I said, my brother-in-law met him, was like, shit, you're married Uncle Scotty. Because somehow we end up picking someone who have traits of our father. But I wouldn't say that I replaced that. You replaced my father. And I've told
You don't
him,
want me.
I've told him,
You're not my father.
I've told him many times. Like, I think it's creepy, personally, to be calling my man daddy or big daddy.
I don't want.
I knew who my fucking daddy was. That's just creepy but weird for me personally to be calling my man, my sexual partner, daddy and big daddy. That's just weird for me because I'm like, I know my daddy, and that's not cool. Okay,
That's a cultural thing.
I'll tell you, okay, fine. I'm just saying culture. That's what's weird for me. But no, you did not. You have traits of my father. Which
But I think for real,
which am I
until a woman finds some security, because I think that's a man's job.
You met me when I was 34 years old. I do my own shit. What the fuck you talking about?
But you did better shit fucking with me, and that's how that shit goes.
I think it's healthy for.
Hey,
my daughter, like my daughter.
So
I
what you
think it's
saying?
healthy.
When
I
she
think
when
it's
she met
healthy.
you, she stepped her game up.
I empowered her fucking life.
Hey, so she was in
I
the
can
minor league,
tell.
you the major league.
I didn't step your game before me. You say all the time that I did.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, so cool.
Yo, you know what she did? She made my shit more efficient.
Okay.
She because I was seriously before I met Cass, I was wasteful.
That's true.
I was seriously. This is what I could say. Before I met Cass, I was completely wasteful. Like I was waste.
Okay.
I didn't look at things for a longer term. You know what I mean? And I didn't have particular a mindset to set shit up. Then she showed me that. But then at the same time, whatever the crazy shit she had in hers, I made that motherfucking real. But I gotta say that.
I will give you that. That is true. That is true.
I was a manifestor and a creator.
You helped me manifest things that were in my head. That is true.
But I still feel like it's healthy. I still feel like it's healthy for a young adult to get out in the world and you know.
I think niggas should get out in the world.
Be able to exercise and have those experiences of being on their own. You know what I'm saying?
I would never believe that a woman should get married too young. Or even a male too young. I think you should experience life on your own experience. Become your own person.
I think a young lady should stay in the house till she's ready to leave.
No, I think each male or female should become more of their own person, figure themselves out a little bit more, and then when you're more of a whole person, then you meet someone and two whole people.
Gina,
versus
I wasn't meaning.
Let me ask Gina a question, because her and Cass is the only female. And Cass, I hear this shit all the time. But Gina, I gotta ask you, how did your father feel about you leaving the house?
He didn't feel no kind of way about it.
Your father?
I left the house I was 18 when I moved out.
Yeah, I mean, both of my daughters, one was 18, the other was 19.
They both moved out?
Yeah, well, one went to college, the other one moved out. I mean, now, the oldest one, I mean, you know, she had a slow start, but I mean, shit, she's doing great now. The youngest one, I mean, you know, she's graduated from college, got a degree in criminal justice and cybersecurity, you know, and she's doing pretty good too. But I mean, yeah, both of them moved out, you know. But like I tell them, you know, my door is open. My door is open, but it doesn't stay open. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I mean, yeah, you can come here, but you got to get the fuck out at some time. You know, because you can't stay forever. You know, you can't
come here, but it ain't gonna be a comfortable. You can't stay forever, but it ain't gonna be comfortable.
Right. They won't
you know what I mean?
I'm gonna give you a bed. I'm gonna give you a bed, but I ain't gonna give you a TV.
Cass is watching my face.
She's just looking at me.
She is watching my face. My face was like, is he for real? I feel like he is like trolling the chat.
Who, Alvin?
I feel like he is
Listen, he let CNC design and arms have some really interesting opinions that I'm just putting up there. That's all.
Go ahead and talk about it. I'm backing it up, man. Yeah, Ray, this is some bullshit.
What?
This is some bullshit.
Listen, opinions and shit. They have a right to their opinion about bullshit. That's all.
I can't see the chat.
I
can't see the chat.
I think it's
I don't have my reading glasses on. Let me put some glasses on. Let me see.
Let me help you out. You are supposed to get a man young and figure your man out. But even before that comment, the comment of there's nothing out there in the world, absolutely there is. Because how do you know how to function in the real world? If you don't know how to function, if you don't know how to function in your parents' house and you get out there in the real world where you're not going to be coddled by nothing, like it's real out here, that's setting your child up for failure.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm like, my daughter needed to fall back, she could have fell back. She didn't need to, but if she needed to, she could. To pick herself back up and get back out there.
Yeah, but
you got to get out there.
But that's what I'm saying. Like you said, to pick yourself up and get the fuck back out there. You know, it's not to come here and stay forever. But you see a lot of, and nowadays you don't see a lot of females doing it, but you see a lot of men who sit there, you know, and want to stay home and shit like that. Yep. And that's like I said. I mean, you know, to me, I don't give a fuck. I call them fuck boys. That's what they are. Them little motherfuckers don't know how to leave, and they want to stay there forever.
I used to think like you both, right? Now I'm at the point where I want to make it so that I want to be in a situation where I can, with me as a man, as a slave, I look at going to work and working for a slavery. I want to be at a point where my kids and my grandkids, I have a grandson, my grandson, he ain't gotta fucking look and beg a motherfucker for a job unless he wants to. But I'm a curse because that shit pisses me off that my generations, after slaving in this fucking country for 400 fucking years, excuse me.
You gotta learn to take
after 400 years, gotta go and beg somebody for a fucking job.
You gotta learn to,
and I gotta go to school and get this credential for a job. I don't want that.
But
they want it themselves. You know what I mean? They want to work here.
If something happens to you, you're not preparing her to be able to be okay because she's there with you. So if something happens to you and now she has, this is something that you actually see sometimes with married couples. I know when I haven't worked in this industry in a while, but I used to work in the mortgage industry like 20 years ago. And you wouldn't imagine how many people call when their spouse passes because they have no clue if the mortgage is even with the place that they're calling, how much the mortgage is, how to make a payment, anything about it, because everything gets separated, that the husband is taking care of everything. It's okay that you're taking care of that stuff, but you also need to have the other person involved so they know what to do, how to do it, what needs to be taken care of in my absence. So she still would need to know how to function in a world that doesn't have you in it.
What if I tell you that a person, an individual or a family can structure their lifestyle to the fact that it lasts forever and their kids don't have to worry about it?
Like a trust? You mean he's talking about
like setting up a trust, or making sure that that money or that house, that place to live, that fucking electric bill is always going to be paid forever.
Yeah,
those things only work.
What I'm doing.
Listen though, those things, now you're trusting a stranger to do what you want them to do with your money, and you're not involving the people who are going to benefit from that money, so that they know to make sure that the person you're trusting.
It's not the money. It's not just that. It's just not the money.
But some of it is, because you got to pay bills. It don't matter if you own the house. It don't matter if you own the car. You got to pay for stuff.
Make sure that my kids don't ever have to do anything unless they want to.
No. You're conflating two things.
Yeah.
Okay, there's the one amazing things that yes, you want your kids to create a trust and their lives are taken care of, but nonetheless, you should teach them how to earn and manage and take care of everything.
You want to teach Zadie how to earn?
Well, Zadie's autistic, and it's not as simple. You know that, Arma. Okay,
so which means make sure that she always has.
I have to make sure that she has, and we still don't know what her life will be in the future. We just have to try and make her as self-sufficient as possible with whatever limitations she has, right? But besides all that, in a perfect world, I know, and I'm going to talk about.
And Zadie has really expensive taste.
My mom had businesses and stuff, but I wake up early in the morning and she taught me the business. From very young, I was managing 15 people when I was freaking 16 years old, right? So you teach them to manage the business, how to take care of your business as well, but you can still also sort of trust where push comes to shove, their lives are also taken care of, and you make sure that you help set good decisions so that they don't end up blowing everything away in 5 years after you die.
Or you take away the ability for them to fuck it up.
There's no way that you can't do both and still make sure your kids are taken care of. You should do both, actually.
You should be doing both.
My whole purpose in life is to take all the pain, and to be crucified so that they don't have to go through what I have to go through.
I swear Cass is watching my face.
No, she's looking
Every
at.
time I roll my eyes, I see her looking
She's looking at Alvin Battles. This is what's happening. Alvin Battles is like my friend from like we've been 40-something years, right?
I know.
But Alvin's saying the wildest shit, and Cass knows him, so she's looking at him and laughing at the shit, everything he says, and that's seriously what's going on in there. So, man, the camera's like right there.
Nah, but look, this.
Eyes roll, and then she looks down at the chat to see why I roll my eyes.
Nah, but my wife.
I'm doing it because of you, partly because she's funny.
My wife has some issues, but I'm like before, but like I'm looking at what he's saying. If you go up, he's talking a lot of valuable things, and I'm not talking about. I'm not saying something that benefits one or the other. I'm talking about like something that's actually structurally beneficial to a household. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like it's not focused on. I would like to consider our culture damaged at this point. So it's not
even black or white anymore.
Yeah, it's not so much as like to poke a thorn into the damaged, but it's how to fix the damage. Because it's like if you could go back, you see what I'm saying? We could go back a couple of 100 years, and then these parents was installing certain things, like he's saying, teach them how to take care of their man, just like a man. You got to teach a little boy how to take care of his woman. You know what I'm saying? Like so, but we take it so sharply.
All right,
like who he talking to? This and the third, but it's like it's all around. Like just like I didn't have a father to raise me and tell me how to carry a household, how to be responsible, how to make sure my wife is and my kids is good, bills is paid. So I didn't have that. But if I had a woman saying that, no, you need to teach him how to take care of his woman, and then men get offended by that, how does that look? I'm just saying, like I gotta install into a young man how to be a young man, and I gotta install into a woman how to be a young woman. You know what I'm saying? And he's saying that it's nothing out in the world. So we was talking about sending them out early and this, that, and the third, and giving them their own experience, which was one of my comments. He basically combated that to say it's nothing out here, bro. Like why would you send them out there? So, you know what I'm saying? So I'm reading.
I know. That's really okay. I'll say this. There's several things I want to comment on here. Culturally, I know in America it's always like 18, they're out in the road, right? I know in culture, a lot of cultures where your child stay with you way past 18 until they're ready to go, okay? Where you don't necessarily boot them out so quickly. And in American culture, it's 18 out of here kind of thing and figure it out kind of thing sometimes. And that's not a practice in other cultures. In Jamaica, we don't do that. You stay as long as you want. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. So if you want to leave, you can leave. That kind of thing.
You're 50 years old. You still at mama house. You fine.
Okay, until you're comfortable leaving. So it's a different culture, right? Also, I wanted to say something. One of the things that is perpetuated it's a twofold thing, right? Where they give the illusion that Black men aren't in the home as much, and I think that's actually not as true. And that's really more of a myth and a stereotype than that was his actual fact. Black men are in the home more than what. And actually, social media, you see postings all the time of Black fathers with their child. So that's also kind of perpetuation. Well, then Black men are the bums and this and that with their family. That's actually not necessarily true.
Or men in general.
Or men in general, either not necessarily true.
Cass, remember a few weeks ago, Cass, remember we was talking about that, how we noticing.
Yes. So it's also not necessarily the truth. And another thing I want to talk about is Alvin was saying that Black women single. Let me tell you a fact. Being married, if someone who's married to a Black woman, regardless of race, the marriage tends to last longer than any other race. That is actually a statistical fact. So this whatever bashing you're doing is not true
You
or
talking
real.
Dutch or what?
I'm talking Dutch. Pitt, I'll open with whatever he's saying. Whatever bashing you're doing of black women, all the things you're saying, it's not.
Everything
factual.
with Dutch is a fucking
not
black woman.
scientific
I don't want to hear
facts.
that black
It's
woman
not
shit.
statistical
Because what I'm
facts.
talking about is it's not a black or white
Yeah, exactly.
particular
But I mean,
subject.
I just have because he does this a lot, and I mean,
Can't see it.
whatever. There's so many.
I'm not even.
No. I'm just.
I ain't
saying,
spending that much.
I
I talk to that motherfucker all day. I don't want to
Yes,
spend that much
but
time
this is
on him.
actually not
I
true.
can talk to him on the
Single
phone.
mothers are all racist, not just black women, and it's bullshit what you're perpetuating here. So I just feel like I need to say it. And yeah, I laugh sometimes because it's real, like, what the fuck? But still, you need to get your facts straight and actually look at real statistics and not your own little experiences before you make such judgmental
Well, he
statements
pulls statistics
about
and
black
stuff.
women. Which
This is what I'm saying.
Bullshit.
He said, I don't have that conversation because I don't get into it that deep. Because I think the problem is deeper than a black or white issue. It's the problem is
That's true.
the problem, and it's not the government. You know what I mean? Because it's behind the government, and I think corporations just run the government. Corporations, and I'm a capitalist, so I happen to have a lot of experience about getting money. And the thing about capitalism is capitalism at the end of the day, it works at profit. So for a few years, they had men work. Men been working and bringing home the child, and they subjugated these young ladies. During World War II, a strange thing happened. They sent all these men to war, and they kept sending them. And they had a draft, and they just kept sending these. My grandfathers, all of them, they kept sending them to war and sending them to war. And once they got to war, it's like, who the fuck gonna work these jobs? The wives and the girlfriends and the young girls went to work the jobs. It's like, oh shit, the country kept moving. We sent the women to work, and the country kept moving. Right after that, that was 1940s. The 1950s came, the 1960s came. The women were still at work, and people were bigging up, and we made during the 1950s, America made the biggest economic growth in history because some of the women kept going to work. Others, they had to do family household. Corporate America, thinking way in advance, they said, fuck it. Let's crash this, create a debt economy, and make a dual income household. And just make it so they have to do it. So they increase inflation. So you can't afford to get this milk. So the prices go up. So the wife has to do something. She can no longer stay home with the family. So now both people go to work. And at the same time, on the political spectrum, we pump this, the Women's Voting Right Act, as if the woman didn't influence the votes or influence politics from the beginning. Like women are helpless. And then they feed you this propaganda like these women throughout all entire ages were helpless. Instead of just putting the act as like, hey, I think women need to have equal rights act. They had to create a dialogue. Like your wife should have equal say in your house. Why they had to create a whole fucking dialogue and a whole propaganda scandal to just show that we are equals in this household? They did it because it was a whole fucking host to push to turn us against each other. They turned the household against each other to make more fucking money. The corporations, not the government, because the corporations control the government. That's what they did. And then they just playing everybody against each other. They have to create conflict so you can choose one side or the other. Whether you be a liberal or conservative or a nigga that just don't give a fuck. And it's very few people who
I don't know if I'm gonna sound a little ghetto right now saying what I'm saying, but like I look on my block, right? I'm renting right now. I look on my block. It's a decent block, right? And in the daytime, I see half the cars leaving per house to go to work. And I see, stay-at-home moms, my wife included. And then, it's trippy and I can't really say it's stay-at-home moms because nowadays, work from home is real popular. You know what I'm saying? You don't know who doing what.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying, like, you see the wives and you see the women home, and it's predominantly something else, but it's a decent neighborhood. So it's like, this ain't something that you're gonna see younger couples or whatever living in this neighborhood or whatever. They mostly, I would say, 35, 40 and up, you know what I mean? Established, look like they bought this about 10 years ago or whatever. I'm just here renting. 10 to 15 years ago, they probably got in and purchased. But I'm saying all that to say that to support, we give you the job, we don't give you the job. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of can see who's able to do what. If that makes any sense.
In our neighborhood, I'm gonna ask Cass this. Cass, do you think most of the women in our neighborhood work?
Yeah, we was talking about that the other day. Man.
Yeah,
there are a few nurses around here, but most of the women in the neighborhood, they're stay-at-home moms.
In a typical home,
that's why they cook up these random time. All of a sudden, there's no school all the time. I'm like, what?
There's never no school around this bitch.
And then
Zayda get more days off of school than any goddamn thing. Most of the women in this neighborhood stay at home.
There's no after childcare.
And the typical cost of a home in this neighborhood is probably about.
Don't be doing that. Why are you gonna be mentioning that?
Well, but most of the women around here stays home.
Yeah, and there's no after school care, so they have
after school care is sports or whatever or
right.
But I mean, the thing is, you gotta look at the area that we live in, though. I mean, in this area, yeah, you have people who are making, government workers and stuff like that, who are making enough for the wife to stay home. Now you go to some of these rural areas, you don't have that. At that point, both people got to go work. So where we live at, like I said, where you're at and where I'm at is kind of the same thing. You still have that that man who's making the 6-figure income and stuff like that, and that wife who can sit at home and do whatever. Now, yeah, you do have some that do go out to work.
Whatever that subsidize me, my life.
I guess that's what it comes down to, because we talking man or woman, but it don't matter. We got to talk numbers. I definitely saw in the last year where $100,000, which you would consider your 6-figure salary, is now considered borderline poverty.
Yep.
$100,000 household income is considered poverty.
That was last week's live, bro. That's that 28%. That $100,000 is $66,000.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't. That shit doesn't add up. What I'm trying to get to the point is, right? Being that don't add up and that bar is going to continuously raise, right? How can you maximize your assets? And the assets is not the money. The assets is your children, your family, your relationship. And I see with this dual income household, it's more this constant. I know we deal with this shit, constant conflict, or trying to chase the bag and the stress of work, or bringing work home, and all of that shit is stressing. So what I'm talking about is alternatives, or setting yourself up so you don't have to do this like this forever.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
What it is I don't see the struggle in any of the people, the friends or family members that I am in circles with. I don't see that struggle.
I don't either, but
I'm just within the family because of it.
This struggle.
What'd you say, Gina?
I don't see that being a struggle, managing 2 parents being working out of a household. I haven't seen that.
I see it as far as in a divorce rate.
See, I don't. I haven't been a witness to that. So that might be why I see a different perspective.
I don't personally see it now, but I hear about it because I just dip it down. I hear about it, you know what I mean? And Dutch could expose me and send me, Alvin Batters would send me 8 million statistics and because he's a little bit thorough like that. He'll send me all the statistics and all these news articles and everything, you know. And I was like, damn, I really didn't know. I really didn't know. But as an experience, as a divorcee, I also know the struggles of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but people are quick to throw the towel in too now. You know, as far as, you know, it could be any little thing. You know what?
In my case, it wasn't necessarily the towel. It's just certain times it's time to go. Some things wait there. Sometimes you walk them out, or sometimes the shit expired, the milk gets spoiled. You just gotta, when you outgrow some things and gotta move on, but that doesn't mean it's just like bad blood or anything like that. You know what I mean? That's something different. But you can't keep forcing a motherfucking a circle into a square, or a square into a circle.
I gotta agree with Gina though. Like, as far as I don't know what results we're criticizing. As far as like, is it the children, or is it like you know the lack of your presence in the home that can make things go wrong? Because it's like that part of it, I gotta agree with Gina. I don't see a lot of that. It's more so based on.
But I know Emma said something to me of interest earlier this week. He said 47% of homeowners have not paid their mortgage since August.
Facts.
47%. And it's worse than it was in 2008 or anything before.
But they're not broadcasting.
And they haven't broadcasted it because it could be a major crisis.
It just hasn't hit yet. It's not that they're not broadcasting it. That hits a field that I work in. They're just not, the people are managing with credit cards right now. So it's coming. It's probably gonna hit really hard in 2024.
Can't wait.
We expect,
because I just saw a link. My wife just sent me a link.
Hold on. Let me finish talking, though. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I just was gonna say it's just gonna hit probably next year.
In 2024.
Can't wait. Hurry up.
All right. So to build off that, my wife just sent me a link about 2024. They just released something in Congress. They do predict three cuts in 2024 for mortgage rates. Somebody else said 6, but the latest link said 3 cuts in 2024. So it's going to drop, and that's probably due to what we're talking about right now.
Because
of what we're talking about right now. People are losing homes. The market, nobody's buying. The market is dropping.
Buying.
It's too high.
That's so trouble buying, because usually the house my neighbor gets snatched up almost immediately. And we actually had 2 houses that just sat on the market, and one now for like 2
It ain't gonna make a difference because, like Gina said, the credit ratings are so fucking far down that it doesn't make a goddamn difference. But anyway, the whole shit gonna fall apart. I can't wait. See, this is what happens. Even if you drop the mortgage rate, even if you drop the rates, right? If the credit ratings are still low, it's going to be less people to qualify for the fucking loans. So you got even less people. More?
They gonna get them loans. They don't care about that.
Everybody preparing right now, bro. We wait. Just like how we talking. We waiting
for the fucking fall.
That's how the government turns. Give you stuff you can't afford to pay for. Then I get it back after you done paid me some of the money on it, and I'm gonna tax you for the deficiency based on what I can now sell it for. You're still gonna get hit with that remainder amount. And so it's like credit cards.
Actually,
I love that shit.
It depends on how you buy.
That shit is dope.
Not also just a little. It depends on how you buy, because then there's also surpluses that people don't know about and they walk away from. So
it's been surpluses lately. That's about to end. But there has been, because everything, all the prices were going up. They were up. The values were going up. So when they were foreclosing or whatever on properties, the properties were worth more right now than they were before. But it's about to level out.
I can't wait.
But even leveling out though, I mean, it
I don't
depends
want
on
to
what
level
you
out. I want
buy.
that bitch to
Even leveling out
crash.
depends on where you buy. There depends on where you buy, what you bought at. If you're one of those persons who went ahead and bought buy at super crazy prices, then you're more likely to be upside down. Versus if you bought before that, where you missed to actually have some equity left over. So it depends on when you buy and where you are.
Yeah.
But one thing Dutch is saying is that he's all about facts and numbers. I know for a fact that numbers can be skewed, and I've looked at spreadsheets.
Most of us do this shit for a living, and we screw the numbers up all the time because we got to make it look a certain way.
You can skew numbers to say anything you want to say because I've done it many times. So you just skew numbers to say this is what the numbers say. And then it just says what you wanted to say, and that's not necessarily.
But you don't even got to lie for real. All you got to do is change the standard.
Listen, most times the people who are going to be looking at it don't even understand what it is. I tell people this all the time. On some things that I do, I can finagle things because nobody understands it but us. Exactly. So they don't tell us for the answer.
It's called health insurance. Exactly. Nobody understands health insurance, but everybody wants it, and everybody's asking for a cheaper one, but nobody understands how the whole health insurance shit works. Yo, that's the biggest. So the statistics and numbers, you believe that shit if you want to.
Whatever number, that don't mean shit.
It don't mean nothing.
Because I've used numbers to pay whatever I wanted to say, and my math gets very interesting, and people are like, "Oh, that is good, yeah."
They don't know what to look for anyway. What the hell? This shit look good. It smell good. It tastes good. So it must be good.
Smell test. It's on pass through an audit. It's all good.
You can see. I used to look at. That's literally what I used to do. I look at spreadsheets all the time and scream.
I do this shit on.
I make value propositions based on spreadsheets, and it's honest how I interpret it. You're not lying. You're just interpreting it.
Statistics is like the Bible, man. Statistics is like the Bible. It got a lot of denominations. Statistics is like the Bible. It got a lot of denominations. But anyway, we've been on here for like almost, we're going to give us another 9 minutes. Thank you, Gina. Thank you so much for rocking with me.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, I hope you be a regular person. Like I said, this channel is about empowerment. Empower your life, bro. Because there's alternatives way of doing this shit. But just know that the whole system is rigged. We playing a rigged game. It ain't no real way to get ahead. It's all about how much you're willing to pay. So you have to look at how much are you willing to pay. And please don't sacrifice your children.
No.
For some of the shit that the fake world is offering.
The whole goal is to make, you know what it is?
If you can minimize your life, go ahead.
In the end, what it is that just make sure you're present in the moment and you're spending time with your family and people that you love.
Because that's the important shit.
Because in the end, if you keel over today at your work, they'll be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry to you," and then they hire somebody else tomorrow.
Yep.
So don't give yourself to corporate America. Make sure you take your time off, your vacations. When you leave at 5, leave at 5.
No freebies. Don't get them shit.
Yeah. And make sure you spend that moment with your family and your children, and because that's what they're gonna know.
For your mother, your father, your grandmother.
Give yourself. Take care of yourself. That's something I need to remember because I'm not running a mile a minute. But but take care of yourself and be present for your family and choose them first every and single time.
Because you and your family make the world go round, for real.
Make your world go round.
Make the world go round because the center of the universe is in your heart. You know?
Yeah.
What you talking about?
You've been drinking too much. I must sit here and drink while he's on the live and he's wild and wilder because he can't hold his alcohol. So he drinks a couple beers while he's here and he just gets crazy and crazier. So, and then especially if he's drinking, beers is bad. If he's drinking liquor, it's even worse. So, how many beers have you had since you've been sitting here?
This is interesting. All the things that Duchess said tonight, this one I agree with. A lot of people live their lives through their children and don't let their children live their own lives.
That
I
is
agree
true.
with that.
Okay, Alvin, we're gonna leave you on a positive note. Yeah,
That's my dude. My dude. Yeah, I don't live my life through my children.
Alvin.
Well, that wasn't a slight, but it is a truth though. I actually see that a lot.
Even with your relationships, I mean, that's when it's like me and my wife. I've told my wife this for years. When all your focus is based on those kids, when those kids get out the house, you have no more focus. Mm-hmm. You know, because that whole dynamic that y'all had when you first met, and then those kids come in, those kids fuck that up. And you got to sit there and make sure that you don't let those kids fuck that shit up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm just being honest. I mean, yeah. That's the truth. I mean, but I tell you, I mean, shit, we got 32 years in this shit. How, and I'm not going to say how she made it with me. I have no fucking clue. You know? I mean, I'm just going to say that. I have no clue. But I mean, we got 32 years in this shit.
Yep.
You know? And I wouldn't trade her ass in for nothing. She gave me my focus.
She's a good one.
Oh yeah, shit. She
yeah.
Hey, you know, like they say, the calm before the storm. She's the calm, and I'm the storm. You know, so yeah, she's gonna come and she's gonna try and calm down the situation. If she can't calm that shit down, I'm gonna blow that bitch down. I mean,
she's the storm, and I'm the calm. Believe it or not,
I'm the storm too. That's why I didn't say nothing.
She's the storm and I'm the calm.
No,
it don't look like that though. But she's a storm and I'm the calm.
I don't know about you being no calm, bro.
I'm definitely the calm on my end.
No,
you ain't no calm. It's just that when I do calm, but once I storm, then it's like okay, yeah.
You always storm.
No, because you be going out, and then when I go off, you're like okay. Then you kind of because. You be going out sometimes.
I'm talking about life.
I was gonna say I'm not with me and my husband.
My wife stormed one. I mean, she stormed one time, and I mean that shit just blew my mind. And I mean, I wanted to get her a fucking trophy for that shit, you know, because I was just impressed. Because normally my ass is the one that goes crazy and shit like that, cussing your ass out. I don't give a fuck. My wife, one day my neighbor pissed her off or whatever, and I mean, she was out there going at it. I had to drag her ass in the house. You know, but I mean, I was proud as fuck. I'm like, you know what?
He's you know, no, I'm is nicer than I am, but I tell you this much. One time he didn't even know I saw his ass. The neighbor was walking this big ass ugly dog, and then he stopped and crapped on my lawn and kept it moving. I went out there so fast, he didn't know I was watching his ass. I tell him, go pick the fucking shit up and cuss his ass. Pick up now, and he was like. It's like, you have to pick that shit up now.
That's what I mean, too.
I don't give a fuck. Pick that shit now.
They pulling this racist shit over here, right? Why they picked up, you know, everybody walk around here with their goddamn bag, with their dog bag.
That was shitting on the thing. I popped his ass.
Why you got shit on my shit?
I know.
Because that's what they do.
And my daughter all these kids play in the front lawn on the grass. Why you gonna shit on my shit? You know not to let your dog shit on nobody's lawn because these kids play in front of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean, but that's just
you can let your dog shit.
They do. I mean, look, you seen my grass shit, man. I had somebody, I don't know who it is. I've been trying to figure that shit out. These motherfuckers will let their little funky ass dog piss on my grass and leave a yellow fucking spot.
Yellow stain, yeah.
I don't know who it is yet, but when I do, man, I'm gonna light the ass up. You know.
That's why I said I'm the calm because like we had a couple of loose dogs over here one time, or somebody walking their dog.
Yeah, let me end the live, man.
All right, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I'm a holler.
Yeah, everybody stay on.
Man. Thanks for coming in.
Peace, everybody.
And peace, Alvin. Holla, man. I'm gonna talk to you in the morning. Yo, Coop, thanks for coming through.
You guys can still talk if you want.
I'm gonna just end this.
We ain't going nowhere. Just getting ready to end it.
All right, I'm sitting right.